A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A very good evening. Good evening, good evening. Good evening from Tokyo's Narita International Airport. We are waiting a few heavy arrivals. Let us see what we can get. We did have Alaska Airlines, Japan Airlines 787 come in. We also saw Cathay Pacific and Singapore. Let us see. It's been a snowy day. Let me pan around and show you all. Look at this. This morning we were at Tokyo Haneda and we couldn't get any of the action because the observation deck was closed. However, we will be getting the action from over here. Currently, we are in a hotel room. Can you believe it? This view is from a hotel room. If we zoom out, you will get to see that's the shuttle bus, a bit of decorations, etc. Good evening everyone joining our live stream. We are back. We were a bit sad this morning because we couldn't stream from Tokyo Haneda, but right now we are lucky that we can stream from Tokyo Narita's International Airport. Whilst we don't get the full runway view, we can get the view of planes coming in from pretty far away, and then we have a few airlines out here as well. You can see the Jetstar tail too. How is everyone doing? How was everyone's Sunday afternoon? Hope you all had some great time on the weekend and getting ready for work tomorrow. Look at the craziness the snow did this morning and afternoon. Right now the snow has stopped. However, 1 degree. Thank you very much for understanding, especially this morning when we planned and we promised to stream from the observation deck at Tokyo Haneda even before sunrise, but sadly that was not to be because of the snowfall. It was crazy. We also had a bit of sleet. I did view an accident as well on the bridge over Toma River. Luckily, it was just a fender bender type of thing, so all good with that. But yeah, apart from that, it's been a pretty much good one for all of us over here. As long as everyone's safe, that really is all that matters, I would say. Waiting for some action. We do see Qatar Airways out there. There's pretty much Japan Airlines, Alaska. There is Cathay Pacific. I'm not too sure if you all can see it on the far right of the screen, as well as China Eastern Airlines. We should be getting a bit of action today. Hopefully we have a good night view from here. So if we do, then probably we'll be streaming. We'll just take this stream much more further, much more longer. Let's see. Hopefully, this one is good enough. Let us see. It should be pretty much good to make up for what we lost this morning. I think this view takes it all. This is the view from a hotel room. I had actually planned that we will be going Okay, we have Jetstar just behind these bushes and trees. Hopefully we'll get it here between this gap, but we aren't too sure which side it's going to be going. All right, we see the tail of Jetstar. Yeah, there you go. That's Fukuoka to Tokyo Narita. We are waiting for a few heavy arrivals. Let us see which arrivals we can get. We do have Los Angeles to Tokyo Narita coming on ANA on its Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner. So it should be here in the next 4 minutes. Welcome and a very good evening to everyone who's just joining us. We are streaming live from Tokyo's Narita International Airport. Thank you very much for joining us today. It's been a crazy morning. We had planned to stream from Tokyo Haneda Airport, one of the best airports, and indeed the best one. We captured the 747-8 of Lufthansa yesterday. That was the retro livery registered as YT Yanko Tangi or something. I forgot what they call it, but yeah, that was a great one. So if y'all haven't watched the stream, maybe just go have a look at it. The 747-8 departed towards end of the stream. In fact, we didn't plan to end the stream. However, we had to end it because the weather was getting bad regardless. So yeah, but we were lucky enough to capture it. So that was one good thing. Apart from that, we did stream yesterday evening. Sorry, we didn't stream yesterday evening. We did stream day before yesterday evening. And, you know, everything went well. But this morning, the weather was super crazy. So there was not much that we could do. However, we are pretty excited. Stay with us, guys. We are getting Los Angeles to Tokyo Narita, Seoul Incheon to Narita, a service from Dubai, Emirates EK318. So there's a lot coming in. There's China Airlines, Airbus A321 coming in from Kaohsiung. Stay tuned. Narita is Narita. It's going to keep us super busy. And welcome, everyone. I hope you all have had a great Sunday. Welcome. It's about 6:47 p.m. in Sydney, 4:47 p.m. here at Tokyo Narita. We are streaming from a hotel room. Can you even believe that? Look at the snow. Look at the crazy snow that fell this morning. It was super crazy. The temperature felt like it was -8 degrees. How is everyone? Hey, Dean. Hey, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you're doing well. And yes, we need to stream from inside. And, you know, we had good warm clothes. We thought we would even go to the observation deck at Narita and film. But again, you know, Narita's observation deck doesn't really stay open 24 hours a day regardless. But we came into our room. We just had a bit of view that was this in between the hotel and the bushes. But then later on, when we just moved around, we saw, we have quite a lot. And then we are in the arrival path as well. Look at that. We see some planes coming in. So yes, it's been a good one for us. Hopefully we can stream until late night. Let us see how it works out once the sun sets. The sun will set in the next half an hour or so, or slightly less than that. So if that goes well, we can have a pretty long stream, I would say. Yeah, there you go. The Los Angeles service on the 787-9 of ANA. Lovely. It's going to come back again over here whilst it's taxiing to the gate. So we should see that. We do have quite a lot of departure action, I guess, later on in the day. but I'm pretty sure we aren't going to get it off this runway. So we would just be locked in through all the arrivals as such. Regardless, there's still plenty of action for us. Well, next in queue is Air Seoul engine to Tokyo Narita on its Airbus A321. It's going to be the first time we get something like that on our channel. Haven't really seen Air Seoul out on our channel in Sydney. I don't even think Air Seoul flies to Sydney. So yeah. Oh yeah, Dean. Yep. That's right. At least some view. This part from the bushes, almost where it ends, to this side is some crazy good view. So yeah, that's going to be fun for us. Hopefully we get some big heavies as well. I guess someone mentioned to us yesterday when we were filming from Tokyo Haneda that we could possibly get the flying turtle. Let us see. We did get late because coming in from Tokyo Haneda to Narita, the buses were working and like super slow. Of course, safety is the first priority, so that's one of the considerations. But even otherwise, I was expecting it to be slow regardless, considering extra caution because of the snowfall and things like that. But yeah, no complaints. Let us see how things work out. And the best part of having this view is we get to see planes coming in from far. Okay, we can spot the lights already on this one. That is Air Seoul. Let's look at its livery. I've never spotted Air Seoul in real life actually, so that's another good thing for us. Let us see. Seems to be a nice brightish greenish stuff, more like on the bluish side I would say, but you'll see. Should be a good one anyway for us. Okay, there you go. Wow. That looks beautiful. Wow, so nice. Superb. All right, waiting in for Emirates. Emirates should be around the corner. Think we aren't getting it. It will be landing on the other runway, and that's behind us, I would suppose. So yep, that we lose that one. We aren't getting that. Emirates EK318, and that is an Airbus A380. Yeah, no problem. Let us see what else we can get. There's plenty of action regardless. No complaints whatsoever, considering this morning we thought it was the end of our Japan live streams, but we just got a lease of life with this one. I don't know if you all can see, there's 3 aircraft coming in. One is on the extreme far right, lower far right. One's little on the quarter past middle of the screen, and one is on the extreme left of the screen. So we do have action coming in. So that's one good thing. This is China Airlines. I don't know how you pronounce it. Shaoxing. If anyone knows, please comment and let me know about it. it's an A321. I think it's going to be a bit high, just like Air Seoul. Yeah, there you go. I want to see what it looks like at night. This is a total surprise for us. We were supposed to be traveling to the observation deck, but the observation deck wouldn't have allowed us to stay for quite some time over there. So yeah, let us see. If we still have a good view at night, we might as well just continue. We will get to know in the next half an hour or so. So let us see. All right, we have QF61 coming in from home, Brisbane to Tokyo Narita, Airbus A330. Good evening everyone. Good evening to everyone in Australia. A very good morning to everyone from Europe, United States. Good afternoon to people in Asia, East Asia, Southeast Asia. We are streaming from Tokyo's Narita International Airport on a snowy day. As well as you all may have noticed, we have our title and description in Japanese language. Also, our thumbnail is in Japanese. And this is as a thank you, as a feeling of gratitude to the Japanese people, to Japanese aviation for welcoming us and allowing us to stream. It's been one hell of a time, one hell of a time. And we couldn't be more thankful for giving us such great views, especially at Haneda and even over here at Narita. From the comfort of our hotel room, we don't have to brave the cold, even though we have the warm clothes. So, yep, there you are, coming in from home, Brisbane to Tokyo Narita, Airbus A330-300. Welcome to Narita. Lovely, super lovely. I'm glad we could catch an aircraft from back home. A very good evening to everyone joining. We have just started a stream about 20 minutes ago, 19 minutes to be more precise. We are expecting a lot of action today. Alrighty, we have Peach coming in from Okinawa. I've never seen Peach, and that's one of the reasons we are here in Tokyo, to get all of the regional airlines. Peach is one of the airlines I always wanted to spot, and we should be lucky enough to get them. All right, we see people moving around at the terminal. Oh my goodness. Okay, I didn't know this. There's some view over here as well. Wow, there's AirAsia, there's Japan Airlines. What a surprise. All you need to do is pan a bit. So, yeah. Let us see. How lucky are we to get this? This morning we were super sad about not able to stream. But, this takes away all of the sadness. Brings back the joy. Hey Yoshida, you subscribed to the channel. Thank you very much. Oh, Starlux Airlines A350-1000 scheduled for 10th of February. We will miss that one, Yoshida, because we are departing from Tokyo tomorrow. How sad is that? Makes me want to cry now because, I just saw Starlux earlier when we were arriving at Narita. It would have been a great experience to capture the A350-1000 of Starlux. Crazy. Hey Jeff, hello. Welcome, Jeff. Welcome back to our channel. We are at Tokyo Narita, Jeff. Hope you're doing well and hope you had a great Sunday morning and afternoon and the evening is going well. Jeff, this morning we thought it was the end of our live stream from Japan because the observation deck at Tokyo Haneda was closed because of the crazy snow. But we were lucky enough to get this view from a hotel room here at Tokyo Narita. Peach Airlines for the first time on our channel from Okinawa. Woohoo! Lovely. Pretty stoked by that one. Hey Yoshida, so it's going to arrive Narita 3:40. And yes, Yoshida, no problem. Thank you very much. Thanks so much for letting us know. We appreciate the words are totally correct and never mind, even if the words are incorrect, never mind, Yoshida. I can totally understand, language can create the barriers, etc. But we appreciate your presence, Yoshida, over here. And to be quite frank and honest, we have been using Google Translate for our descriptions as well as the thumbnails and the YouTube title. We have been using Google Translate because, we know the Japanese people are pretty much into aviation. We have seen a lot of them at Tokyo Haneda. We saw them coming up with big cameras and being so excited with the 747-8 yesterday. So not a problem, Yoshida, at all. We appreciate your presence. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hey Jeff, yes, it's very good to switch to Narita Airport. We were supposed to be here at Narita Airport, and then what we thought is we will be going to the observation deck and stay until it closes for the night, which is about 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. But that's something we couldn't do. Wow, what a bus. More like a retro feel. And the reason why we aren't going is because it seems to be we have a pretty good view from a hotel room. Earlier, when we came into the hotel, all we thought is we have this view between the other side of the hotel and these trees and bushes. But we were lucky enough when we just looked around the other side and we thought, wow, we have some really good view of the airport. And the best part is we get to see a lot of the arriving aircraft. So yes, that's very nice. And thanks, Jeff. Thanks for joining us on all of our live streams, especially this one. We always see you on our live streams, and it's like, it means a lot to us. Thank you very much, Jeff. Hope your mom is doing well. Hope your granny is doing well back in China. I'm guessing China would be cold too, just like Japan. It's been a crazy snowy day over here. But, good enough for us. We were able to get this view from a hotel, and what a good view. No complaints whatsoever. We were sad this morning, not sad anymore. Korean Air. Cool. Hey, Jeff, I'm not too sure if you joined the stream just right now or maybe a few minutes ago, because we did capture Qantas coming in from Brisbane to Narita. And Jeff, once again, I will say to you, I wouldn't be on that flight because that's Qantas, and you know how Qantas prices its Japan flights, especially Haneda and Narita. So, yep. Oh, yeah, it is cold in China, right? Cool. Yeah, hopefully your granny's staying nice and warm. And, yep. Let us see what we can get. I'm guessing we have to be getting ready for the cold weather in Sydney very soon. There's still some time, but no problem. All right, can you all see 3 lights on the screen? That is 3 aircraft coming in. Let us see. Okay, Jeff, if you may have missed out Qantas, here's the Qantas tail. That's the one that's coming from Brisbane. Yeah, there you are. It seems to me this runway is just used for arriving aircraft. I am not too sure about it. For those who know, please comment and share with us your knowledge. Okay, seems to be it's going about the other side. So Yeah, maybe the taxiway is such, but let us see. We'll get some more action regardless. There's a lot to come. Yes, Jeff, it's the A330-300. Qantas's A330-300 for this flight. For some reason, I would wish that, Qantas would use some of the newer aircraft, perhaps the 787 to Japan. I usually even notice from Sydney to Haneda as well, they keep using the A330. I don't really understand what's the understanding behind it. They probably know best, but I'm guessing, it's going to be much more economical to use the A330 rather than the A350, not the A350. They don't have one yet, rather than using the 787s. All right, Japan Airlines Boeing 737-800 coming in from Osaka's Itami Airport. How many of you all have heard about Osaka's Itami Airport? It's one of the better airports out there. I've just seen a video on YouTube and it looks crazy cool. Not one of the world's leading hubs, I would say, because it's more for domestic airlines and stuff. Oh, what the hell? That's Malaysian Airlines. Look at the livery. I think we missed out on Japan Airlines. Alrighty. Nope, we didn't miss it out. We didn't miss out. I think we missed out on looking flight radar 24 for Malaysia Airlines. How crazy is that? Okay, all good, no problem. We do have quite a lot of heavies coming in. We have Itami to Narita coming in of Japan Airlines, Boeing 737, Frankfurt to Narita, Japan Airlines, 787-9. Then we have Manila to Narita coming in on their A330-900, but we aren't too sure if that's going to come on this runway to us. So, yeah. All right. There you go. We see Qantas's A330 that just arrived a couple of minutes ago from Brisbane. Okay, let's get our attention to the arriving aircraft. All right, this is the one from Osaka's Itami Airport. Woohoo! Lovely. If we have this steady flow of arrivals, it's going to be totally fine for us to get so much of the action. It's not going to make us feel bored or whatever. So that's one good thing. I hope you all enjoy it too. Jeff, come on. They don't even want to use their Boeing 787s. Qantas don't even want to use their 787s to Japan. I wonder why though, because they do have quite a lot, if Qantas would use their A380s to Japan, realistically, I think they wouldn't able to fill up. Of course, the demand is there, but then they wouldn't able to fill up as much. But pretty sure Qantas would able to get some of the share from Japan Airlines, considering, One World partners. So people would definitely use their One World points on Qantas, the ones who regularly fly with Japan Airlines. And yeah, with ANA, I would pretty much want to travel on ANA in that case, because Chris Flyer and I've been flying with Star Alliance members for quite some time. So yes, I think if Qantas did go with the A380 route, there's two ways to it. First, I don't think they were able to fill it up. And secondly, if they did, Qantas would still end up keeping the prices slightly on the higher side, but with the A380s, you would have expected or you would have wanted it to be slightly lower. But, again, that comes to their pricing and things like that. And, like we have always mentioned, Qantas never really competes on the prices. And, if they would actually do, that would be great. Yeah, they do use their A380s quite a bit for their services to Los Angeles, Singapore, Dallas, Fort Worth. I do know they do quite well with the Dallas, Fort Worth and Los Angeles services. That's where, they are the kings. Most people don't prefer going to American, United and stuff like that. Again, it's just economies of scale. You have more seats. So with more seats, which means you can just get a better pricing power as such. So, yep, that's one strong point with the A380s. But, apart from that, I don't know if there's a lot more considerations. Like, I'm not an airline CEO or one of the fleet managers and things like that. But, there's a lot of a lot of things that they consider, economies of scale being one of them. And I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't able to fill up an A380. Yeah, they can fill up an A380 to Dallas, Fort Worth, to Los Angeles. They can't even fill up their A380s regularly. Qantas can't fill up their A380s regularly, even for the Sydney to Singapore route. And that's because Singapore Airlines literally takes the big share of the cake. They are quite efficient. 4 flights a day, 1 in the morning, 1 at about 11 in the morning, and then there's another one. Sorry, right now it's 12:15 because summertime, and you have another one. I think it's SQ222 at 4:10 p.m. out of Sydney, and then you have another one at 7:05 p.m. 6:05 during summertime, during winter time. So you see, they have quite a lot. I think Qantas can really do a bit more. But yeah, with Qantas, I do understand a lot of people who travel on the Singapore flight, the A380 Singapore flight of Qantas, will be transiting and then onwards to London. And so yeah, they do have their clientele. And like Lena said the other day, it's for the rich ones and stuff like that, or people who are just blowing up their points. And you know how it works, right? In Australia, you do a bit of shopping, you end up getting a lot of those Qantas credit cards, a lot of Qantas points, bonus Qantas points, sometimes on your utility bills like electricity, etc. So yeah, it makes sense for people to travel to Qantas. But when you compare to other airlines, yeah, definitely you'll be getting better value for your money elsewhere. Woohoo! Cebu Pacific looks so nice over here on this nice snowy evening. Yeah, very nice, very nice. Okay, so guys and everyone, hope you are doing well. Hey Aaron, hey, welcome back. Welcome. Oh, really? Why do you say so, Jeff, that they need to save their 787-9s for trips to USA? Is there a specific reason for it or something? Wow, they see the lights on at the airport. Jeff, so yeah, why do you say so? Is it a particular reason, or perhaps maybe because the 787s do have, that capacity and stuff like that. So maybe that's the reason you feel. Whatever it is, share your knowledge with us, Jeff. It's going to be good, because even we should be getting to know like how things work out over there. Oh wow, Dean, that's really good. Yeah, QF61 departing from Brisbane. Pretty sure Julia Flights would have covered that one. Yes. So that's so nice, mate. That's so nice. You captured it. You viewed it on your screen this morning, departing from Brisbane, and then we are over here at Tokyo Narita. How good is that, mate? How good? Hey, mate. Aaron, there was a lot of snow this morning. You look at the snow over here, it's pretty much quite a lot. And this morning, what happened is we did go to the observation deck about 5 in the morning, and the observation deck was closed because it was a blizzard sort of situation. We then had sleet, and the traffic was quite slow on the roads and stuff like that. So sadly, the observation deck was closed, and that's why you may have noticed we live streamed for just about 10 minutes. And because we thought that's the end of our aviation streams here on this trip to Tokyo. And we wanted to be very grateful and thankful to the Japanese authorities, to our Japanese fans, to Japan Aviation, to, in fact, Tokyo Haneda Airport. Tokyo Haneda has stolen a heart. I tell you, they have stolen a heart. We definitely will be coming over here again. But yes, we did feel sad when we had to turn back and come back home. But, that's the reason we streamed from the Terminal 3 bus station at Tokyo Haneda, because we wanted to be really thankful and let everyone know that this is possibly the end. But as we come over here into our hotel room, we see we have such a great view. So we thought, okay, let's do another live stream over here. So, that's how it is. But yeah, the snow was bad. The snow was seriously very bad. Even right now, it stopped snowing just about an hour and a half ago. But look at this. Whilst on our way, coming in from Tokyo Haneda to over here, we saw pretty much all of the trees in white color. So you can understand how crazy that was, and a lot of cars having snow on their roofs and yeah, crazy stuff. Actually, the weather started getting bad from day before yesterday in the evening. If you may have heard me saying during a live stream, it was getting a bit freezing. Yesterday, it got a bit more, and luckily, we were able to catch the 747-8 with the lateral livery of Lufthansa yesterday, just as we ended our stream. We weren't supposed to end the stream yesterday at that time, but, because of the crazy weather, we had to end it. But luckily, we caught it anyway. And then yesterday evening, we couldn't stream because of the weather too. It was raining. But this morning, when we woke up, it turned into snow. Yep, cool. Hey Jeff, you say 787-9 Dreamliners might have a better flight range and more comfort during long-haul flights. I totally agree with you, Jeff. Yes, totally makes sense. Yep. That's something I didn't consider. So you see, like I said earlier as well, I'm no expert. I'm not a CEO and stuff. But then, yes, it totally makes sense. Thanks, Jeff, for sharing that one. Yes, I totally agree with you. They are pretty much comfortable. The 787s, yeah, they are comfortable. Oh, yes. With the noise, I totally get you, Jeff. The A330s are super noisy. I once traveled on Qantas's A330 from Delhi to Melbourne, and it was bad. It's super noisy. And one more thing, I always say this thing. So the A330s, they have a slightly narrow seat pitch. I'm not too sure if that comes down more to configuration or it comes down to just the width of the plane, but regardless, it's I find it a bit less comfortable. Nice. So yeah, totally. Thank you very much, Jeff, for sharing this. You see, this is what we like. Hey, Aaron, no, we didn't take the train to Tokyo Narita. So, we were living just by Tokyo Haneda Airport. We were living at the Villa Fontaine Grand Haneda Airport, which is connected through the terminal. Now, what happens over there is, the reason why we stayed there is because we can bring the live streams to you all every single day, like we did. Just yesterday, we missed out because of the rain. And then this morning, the observation deck was closed for safety reasons. So what we did is we just prepaid a bus ride, and you can book that on your phone, or you can just walk in directly, book the tickets downstairs from those machines. You just follow the instructions at the arrivals at Tokyo Haneda, which says buses. You go down, search for the numbers. It does have the numbers where the buses go to. I think Narita, Tokyo Haneda to Narita is on bus station number 5. And you pay the charges. It's not much. It's an equivalent of about 35 Australian dollars. So not much at all. And yeah, we took the bus. So from Terminal 3 of Tokyo Haneda, the bus will go to Terminal 2, pick up passengers from there, then go to Terminal 1, pick up passengers from there. And from then on, it's non-stop. It just comes... Oh, what do we see? Do we see another Qantas? What is happening? Where is it come from? All right, Jeff, another Qantas, and I don't think I would have been on this one either. But lovely to see Qantas. No matter what we say about Qantas, it's always quite nostalgic to see Qantas coming from wherever in the world we are. It's like about half a dozen thousand kilometers away. All right, that one was from Melbourne. So yes. Yeah, great. So Aaron, as I was saying, no, we didn't take the train. We just took the bus. Aaron, yes, the JR line, Narita, is in service. I did take the JR line yesterday whilst I was using the Daishi line. They have a couple of trains. They are local trains, which are quite old. Thought I would just go and get some views of it. I did get a 600 series train. I got an image. I got a few YouTube shorts for them. So yeah, I'll be posting it on our other channel. But it was fun. It's always fun to spot those trains as well. Hopefully I can come back again and, do a lot of those train rides and those trains. This morning, I just want to share with all of you the Tokyo monorail, which is connected to Tokyo Haneda Terminal 3. I tapped in, I went, I got, I think about 2 videos of the monorail. Like you all know, there are new ones, there are old rolling stock. So we got an image of them, we got videos of them, and then I was trying to tap out and I couldn't. So what really happens over here is, I'm not too sure how it happens in Melbourne and elsewhere, but in Sydney, if you tap on, and you tap off within about half an hour, you aren't charged anything whatsoever. You can just tap on and tap off. And likewise, it's over here, but you just need to get a fare adjustment as per what they say. So when I was trying to tap off, the gates wouldn't open and it says to see the station master. However, the station master wasn't over there, because that's the airport. So you need to go down to level 2 and then just have a chat with them. And then they were asking me where I was going. And I told him I just came to the station and I want to go back. And he's like, okay, keep your card over there. And, we don't have a physical card. We were just using Suica app, which is not Suica app, the Suica card, a digital card, which is, one of the travel passes here in Japan that you can use on public transport. So you keep it and then they just reset it and then you don't get charged regardless. But, that's something that you should be knowing, called fare adjustment. I did read it whilst traveling yesterday on the train and all, but I didn't really know what it is for. But today I got to know. So yeah, good thing. All right, ANA 787 Dreamliner. Okay, it's about 10 minutes or perhaps 8 minutes past since sunset. And the views are looking good. I think once it gets much more darker, we aren't sure what it will be like. So let us see. Hey, Takaita. Hey, Takaita. Hello. I hope I pronounced your name right. If I haven't, please accept my apologies. But we appreciate your presence here. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks for joining our stream. Hey Aaron, what will you be doing when you come to Tokyo Narita Terminal 2 or 3, and then you said you're rapid service bound for so and so places that's either Tokyo, Kurihama, or Zushi. Are you coming in here for a holiday, or are you just going to visit some places? What exactly is happening, or is it something work related? All right, we were quite busy. We captured the LL plane coming in, the 787-9. It's behind the bushes somewhere. But, as we were so much engrossed in speaking about Qantas and the other airlines, we couldn't. So, for the first time on Sydney Airport Aviation, we have LL 787-9. That's something, again, we don't see in Sydney. And rightly so, that's because of the massive amount of distance that it needs to cover. Hey, Aaron, you're using Pasmo. Yes, I did see Pasmo as well on Apple Pay, but I don't know why I selected Suica, probably just because that was the first option. But regardless, everything works well. Wow, I think you have plenty of time, Aaron, on hand. The fact that you're going to visit so many places like Nikko. Please forgive me if I pronounce them wrong, because, it's my first time in Japan. So there's a lot more for me to learn. These are places I haven't even seen, but I'll still read them out. Kawagoe, I think that's how they'll pronounce it. Kamakura, Fujisawa, Utsunomiya, Ashikaga, and Tokyo. Yeah. Hey, mate. Hello. B1U. Hello. Welcome. I hope you're having a great time. Thank you very much for joining us stream. We appreciate your presence over here. Thank you very much. In fact, thanks to you. Thanks to all the people of Japan. Thanks for being so polite, so receiving, so cordial with all of us over here, especially we coming from all the way Sydney to Tokyo Haneda, Tokyo Narita, and we are getting some great reception. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Hey, Dean. Whereabouts does that guy live in his house there? Which person are you talking about, Dean? Alrighty. Lovely, another one gone through. Hey Aaron, I am quite jealous of physical cards. It's more like a souvenir. It's more like memories that you have with those cards. Someday in future, let's say, you aren't using the Pasmo physical card, you're still going to have those memories. You'll be like, oh yeah, this is the card I used for my trip back then when I went to Japan and all those places, and it was so much fun. And that is something that, digital cards, they don't really have that type of nostalgic factor. And, even this time I used Suica app, but I would have preferred if I had a card too, like a physical card. I totally get it. Aaron, in Sydney, I still have my Opal card. It's been a while since I last traveled on the train or a bus. And I don't really want to throw my card away or, whatsoever. I still have it covered in that nice plastic, whatever that thing is called. And, it's without scratches. So, that's the nostalgic feeling that you have. Again, I've traveled to Dubai quite many times. It's been a while since I last traveled on their public transport, their metros or the buses, whatever. But yeah, I still have the card with me. It brings about the nostalgic feeling. All right, we see Qatar Airways that has pushed back. Yeah, sadly, it seems to be we aren't getting any of the departure action. But if y'all can see, look at those lights. It's crazy. We are having some arriving action. Arriving action is crazy out here. Hey, Mena. Hey. If you're streaming from Sydney, good luck with your stream. And yes, Japan is cold, Mena. But yes, if that's the case, I hope you have a great stream. Enjoy it, mate. Enjoy. Okay, Aaron, you say you have the experience of traveling around Japan. You've been as far as Osaka and Furano in Hokkaido. Okay, I really have no idea where those places are. I've heard of Hokkaido, I've heard of Osaka, never been to them. Like, we have mentioned many times, it's my first time here in Japan, but hopefully someday. Hey V1U, yes, it's a live session from a hotel. We were supposed to go to the observation deck, but after looking at the great view that we have, we thought we might as well do it from here, plus be nice and warm in the hotel rather than using multiple layers of clothing out there. Yes, Mena, thank you very much. And we did enjoy Japan. Japan has some really good people, really good food. And thank you very much, for being so polite. The weather is great. It's my first time experiencing snow. I've never really seen snow in Sydney. It does get cold, but not as cold. It was -3 degrees or something this morning at Tokyo Haneda. But yeah, it was great. Thank you very much. Thank you. We appreciate your presence. Okay, I think we lost some frames, I suppose. I'm not too sure, but let us see. I think the internet was dropping, but we are back. Hey, Dean, yes, cool, we'll check it. That's a bit crazy. Like, you pass someone's house whilst landing. Wow. Wow, I can hear this aircraft. Is that Delta or Air Canada? All right, Air Canada. Okay, like I said, once it gets dark, it's going to be a bit hard. So, yep, we've zoomed out. And hopefully that will give us some more aperture and light. And this is the view from the hotel room, some decorations. And that's the shuttle bus. It goes to Terminal 3, 2, and 1. Hey, yes, Mana from the hotel, and it was least expected. That's not something we had even thought of, but luckily enough, that is something we got. Hey Aaron, yes, I did feel that you could possibly be Singaporean because the end of your username did mention SG. So yes. I'm glad, possibly you have seen all of the seasons then you're in Japan. Yes, Mana, there was a lot of snowfall. We saw a lot of snowfall this morning at Tokyo Haneda as well. But yes, there is a lot of snow. But Mena, like I said, in Sydney, we hardly ever see snow. Or perhaps I have never seen snow, like snowfall. So it was an experience for us. Of course, aviation-wise, it was an experience regardless. But then an experience with other aspects of the weather, snow and things like that. Yes, it was fun. Oh wow, Mena, you live near Narita. Wow, how far is it? Is it too far? Do you go spotting regularly at Narita? What exactly is it? Okay, Okinawa to Narita, Yamato Transport. Let us see if we can get a good view of the planes. I think the smaller planes is where we may not able to catch much of, but the larger planes is something that we may get a good view. Okay, I think it's good enough. Let us see if we can zoom out. No, that's too much. We'll leave it at this zoom and see if it gets any better. We see a lot of planes lining up. Alright guys, just a moment, we will have to switch off the TV. So the TV is switched on, by default in the hotel, and it's reflecting on the glass. I think it's affecting our view. Let me just switch it off and I'll be back in a minute. Alright guys, I'm back. Let us see what else do we have that is going to arrive. Boeing 777 with a one world livery of Qatar Airways QR806. Hey, hello Lena, welcome back. Welcome. We just spoke about you a couple of minutes ago, Jeff and I, in regard to Qantas being one of those airlines for the richer people. Yeah. And yeah, welcome back, Lena. Yes, right. Christmas time. I think it's some of the Christmas decorations as well that we see here in our hotel. Okay, we are totally zoomed in. Qatar Airways, One World livery. Hey Aaron, no, it's not affecting the JR Narita line. I did see this morning it wasn't, but I don't know for later on if it changed, because I think about 11:30 or 12 when the snow got a bit more crazy. By then, we were already getting ready to depart for Narita. So I don't really know by that time if things would have possibly changed. But at least as of that time, I think it was fine in the morning. So probably you'll have to have a look if you need the latest updates at least. Okay, we have JAA coming in from Seoul Incheon to Tokyo Narita on the Boeing 737. We should be able to spot that one, but like I said, it's dark. It's not one of the best visuals. We do see planes all around. We see Qantas's A330, Japan Airlines. See 2 Japan Airlines over here. Welcome everyone to the live stream. We are streaming from Tokyo's Narita International Airport. We are in a hotel room, to be more precise. Alright, JAA, Seoul Incheon to Tokyo Narita. And like I said, it's quite dark. We aren't getting great views except for the heavies, which would be having some nice big lights on their tails. Okay, we have Cathay Pacific departing. Okay, we have Jetstar Japan coming in from Okinawa, Airbus A320. Okay, we have All Nippon Airways coming in from Dalian on its Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner. But yeah, that's a bit later. First, we have the flight coming in from Okinawa, Jetstar Japan. At this stage, it's only the lights that we see. Okay guys, I'm not too sure if we should be continuing the stream. Probably what we can do is leave it as a static stream or something, I suppose. Because the fact that we can't see much is going to be an issue. We'll probably wait for one of the heavies. So let's wait for the 787-8 Dreamliner coming off ANA, and hopefully we can see something like that. Hey Jeff, it's about 5:43 p.m. over here, and it's still winter, so yeah, it's turned dark. But yeah, there's not much we can do because we are still far off from the airport, not as close as Tokyo's Haneda observation deck. But yeah, I think we may have to end the stream as such because it's quite dark. The next aircraft that's coming in is a 787-8 Dreamliner of ANA. Let us see what it looks like. I'm guessing it's not going to be a good view as such, because it's so dark and we are streaming through the window. The window has a lot of those drop marks and stuff like that. I'm guessing from today's snow is what caused it. Yeah, so it's not going to be a great outcome as such, because if we can't be spotting planes, then I don't think we can do much. But yeah, if we have to end the stream, that means our next live stream will be in the month of March. But fret not, because we do have a lot of YouTube shorts that we filmed, because we knew that we would be on a holiday for quite some time after streaming here, after our trip to Tokyo, Narita and Haneda. So yes, I think stay tuned. There's a lot of up close action from Sydney that we filmed from the beach, zoomed in right on the planes. So yeah, stay tuned. But let us see this one. Okay, so if we zoom in quite a bit, yep, we don't really see much. Okay, this is about medium zoom, and let us see what it looks like. Medium zoom seems to be okay. Then might as well just zoom in a little more. Okay, over here. But when we zoom in a bit more, it gets dark. That's Qatar Airways that we mentioned earlier, Boeing 777. So let us wait for another heavy. So if this heavy comes in with even a slightly better view, we'll continue with the stream. Else, we'll just end it. Let us see how it works out. What do y'all guys want? Do you all want us to continue the stream, considering there's not much that can be seen? Or would you all like to have a daytime stream? I'm pretty sure a lot of you all love the daytime streams, because it's plenty of daylight, can see quite a lot. But then yeah, at this stage there's not much. But yeah, if you all do not want this stream, that's totally fine. It's understandable, because even we can't enjoy the liveries as such. The very fact that we started Sydney Airport Aviation is because we wanted to spot a lot of planes, a lot of those heavies, get the registrations, and look at the landings, takeoffs. Of course, takeoffs is not something that we are getting at this very moment, because the runway seems to be just getting all of the arrivals as such. But apart from that, yeah, okay, we do have a 777-300 coming in from Auckland of Air New Zealand. So let us see. And yeah, coming back to the topic, the reason for us starting Sydney Airport Aviation is to share our aviation adventures with everyone from all across the world, because we keep traveling quite a lot. All right, this is a 777. Oh, okay, we see the tail quite well. Okay, I think we'll just go ahead with it. Okay, that's Jeju Air. All right. Yeah, so I think we'll continue, but this is the quality that, the best we can do. If we zoom in too much, it's going to get dark. We zoom out too much and you won't see anything. So this is the most sweet spot that we can get on this snowy winter day. So yeah. Oh, Jeff. Okay. Thank you very much, Jeff. We will continue it. Yep, we'll continue. Thank you. Yes, Mena. It's definitely a very good trip for Aaron. 3 hotels, 8 nights, 9 days. I'm guessing Aaron is going to be super busy, but he is going to be super excited as well. Enjoy yourself, Aaron. Enjoy. Hey, Jeff. Yes, the next location that I will be filming will be back in Sydney, and that should be in March. Okay, so Jeff, here goes what's happening, right? The main reason why we came to Japan was, not to do all the tourist activities like we've mentioned earlier as well. We came here just for streaming, considering that we knew about the observation deck at Tokyo Haneda for quite some time. So, we wanted to view the observation deck. We saw a lot of pictures and videos of people getting some really good close-ups from Tokyo Haneda, considering Haneda also stays open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, except for like today because of weather when, they do close down. We wanted to do that as well. And, YouTube is not one of our main businesses as such, but we still operate YouTube as a business rather than a personal hobby or a team hobby as such. So yeah, because we operate it as a business, we considered this trip of ours as a business trip. And, to be true to its roots, that's what we did, every single day tried bringing you a stream. And it's only today that we couldn't bring a stream this morning, and we were absolutely gutted by that one. And that's why, we said a thank you earlier today to all the Japanese people, aviation, especially to Tokyo Haneda Airport. But we were lucky enough to get this view. So yeah, the thing is, here goes is that our main focus of this trip was to get all of the aviation action that we could. Yeah, I think it could have been a lot better considering, the daylight. You see, it's just about 5:50 and we don't have daylight. And in the morning, it was raining the first day and stuff like that. So yeah, it didn't really work out quite well. But yeah, eventually it did work out yesterday. Yesterday was one of the greatest streams ever for us, especially with the 747-8. But yeah, from here, we go to Singapore. At Singapore, like I said yesterday, there's nothing much that we can even stream, and we won't be in Singapore for a long time. And then, we'll be going to India and a few other places. Now, again, I do know in India, there's a new airport that's opened up in Mumbai. But again, it's very far off, something like Tokyo Narita to Tokyo Haneda. There's quite a lot of distance. That's a new airport. It's an international airport, but just because they begun services, I think on Christmas Day, Christmas 2025, it's only the domestic operations. So I was thinking I might as well just go have a look at the terminal and maybe have a live stream from there. I am not too sure, so I'm not going to promise on that one. But yes, if something works out, then let us see. Probably that, and then a few other places in India as well. So let us see. I don't know whether I'll be traveling to Dubai. If I do, maybe something from Dubai's aviation. So, there's a lot, but yeah, live stream, this possibly would be, I would say, our last stream as of today. And then the next one, we'll be back in Sydney. Our usual streaming locations would either be the beach or Foreshore Lookout, that's by Port Botany, or perhaps even if we think of doing a static live stream, it would possibly be from Sheps Mound. Let us see what works out. But yeah, as of now, that would be our last. This would be our last stream as such. Hey Haps, hey. Yes, unfortunately, the weather turned on us, unfortunately, because earlier this week when we were checking the weather, Japan seemed to have some real good weather, apart from not having much daylight, that's the winter thing. But apart from that, we in the snow and the rain, yeah, that's something that, turned on us, and, it did affect quite a bit of our streaming. Hey Aaron, I will be flying back to Sydney on the 8th of March. and I don't know the flight number, but it's the Boeing 777 of Singapore Airlines from Singapore, which departs about 9:30 in the morning. I can't recollect the flight number. I've totally forgotten that one. So sorry about it. But yeah, if you actually go on Flight Radar, I think it's hold on, I can just check it and let you know. But it's the Boeing 777 that departs in the morning from Singapore and arrives Sydney around 9 p.m., 9:30 p.m. odd. That's the one, the Boeing 777. And Aaron, I'm flying to Singapore on the 8th morning. So, there's hardly any time for me to even transit properly. So I arrive Singapore about, I don't know, 8 o'clock in the morning. And then 9:30 is this flight. So it's literally, just out of one flight and then the next one. So yeah, but for tomorrow, sorry. If you're asking about the flight for tomorrow, then that's Scoot, and the flight number. Let me get that flight number of Scoot. I think I just have the app over here. Let me just look at that one. Scoot has some really crazy timings. So let us look at that. Okay. The flight for tomorrow is TR809. That is Scoot from Tokyo Narita Terminal 1 to Singapore. It arrives Singapore at 3:30 p.m. local time. And I think it's going to arrive on Terminal 1. Whoa. Dean. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for the $10 tip. Thank you. Appreciate it, mate. Thank you very much. How sweet of you to do that. How thoughtful. Thank you. Oh, yes, Dean, I do have quite a lot of snow footage as such. But then, considering ours is an aviation channel, it's like, I'm just going to keep that for memories as such. But, I might as well just post 1 or 2 pictures of the snow. Not a video, but just a community post as such. So yeah, make sure to check them out. But thank you very much, Dean. Appreciate you doing this for us. Wow, these look like some nice retro buses. Okay. So Dean, thank you very much. But apart from this, we do have another announcement. You all will by now know that we make a lot of announcement quite early on because we need to be planning and organizing stuff before we even get things done. Now, we did mention that Tokyo Haneda has some great views and stuff like that, and we would like to come again. So yeah, I would prefer coming back to Tokyo Haneda perhaps during the Japanese summer, hopefully later this year. And if we do, maybe along with the observation deck at Tokyo Haneda, we might as well just try spotting the planes and buses. We just saw a bus pass by and that looked a bit of retro one. So yes, let's try getting that one. That would be fun. So, it's just going to add up to more of the things that we do. Hey, Haps, yep, I totally agree. The skiers are going to get some really good views and climate and environment over here compared to Sydney. In Sydney, they're going to be high but dry because they just won't have snow whatsoever. So they literally will be having nothing, no water, no oil, no nothing. It's like high but dry because they aren't getting the snow that they deserve. But pretty much, I hope they're going to stay safe. Hope everything goes well with them. Hey Aaron, I'm flying to Singapore tomorrow morning. Around 8 a.m. or something is the flight. I think it's 8:05. I'll be departing from the hotel quite early. You'll just take the shuttle bus and go over there and then let us see how things work out. It's already quite tired. This trip has been one that has kept us busy and on our toes. So yes, let us see. Hopefully, things go well tomorrow. Scoot. We did get some check-in done this morning. We didn't really go for any of the add-ons. There was a bid for Scoot Plus, which Scoot Plus is just more like a premium economy of Scoot, but there wasn't much offering as such. Hey, once again, Dean, thank you very much. Appreciate your presence. Appreciate your tip. Thank you. We totally appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks for doing this for us. We really love doing this for you all. And thank you very much for the tip. Thank you. Hey, Aaron. So I will be in Singapore for a couple of days, but not too long. Again, it's more just like, I don't know what to say, more sort of a rest thing, because at work, I work for a bank back in Sydney, and the work is super crazy. Once you start working, there have been times where we don't even get time for lunch, it's like super crazy. So we end up having a lunch at about 4 in the afternoon, sometimes even 5, or sometimes, we just won't bother then. In that case, just have your lunch and dinner together. More sort of a new word called a liner, a lunch and dinner together. So, yeah. Alrighty, what do we have? We have a 787 of Lufthansa, just looking at the tail. I hope y'all can see the tail well. Let me try zooming in. Yeah, there you go. So yes, that's the thing. So with all of the work craziness that happens, we just want that off time, and that's the reason we planned it this way. We thought, yeah, we get the time off from work, let's do Tokyo Haneda, Tokyo Narita like crazy. Of course, our focus was at Haneda, and that's the reason we were there Haneda so many days, and we wanted to get it. Yeah, sadly the weather turned on us, but still lucky enough to get one of those retro liveries of Lufthansa, something that we will never ever see in Australia, with the fact that Australia is way too far from Frankfurt. Even if it has to be Frankfurt to Perth, it's going to be, the economics just won't work, especially with a 747-8 that we captured yesterday. So yeah, so we wanted to be super busy in Japan, which we were, and we are quite excited. Apart from that, yes, at Singapore, it's just going to be an off time, and then onwards to India, and then get some stuff done there, and then come back again Singapore, and then onwards to Sydney. Crazy stuff happening with us, but yep. It's going to be a rest time, but fret not, because we will be posting daily or almost daily. We have quite a lot of YouTube shorts that we filmed on the 3rd of February, which is just earlier this week, or perhaps last week, because today's Sunday. So we filmed quite a lot of shorts so that no one really feels left out or missed out with the aviation adventures. So we have quite a lot of those planes. We have a lot of heavies. We have Qantas's A380. We have Singapore Airlines A380. We have American, we have Boeing 737s, and whatever possible that we could get, we did get quite a lot of those, because we don't really want it to be such that you lose out and we lose out touch with that aviation thing. So, like I said, for us, we do have this passion for aviation that we want to share. And, we feel quite blessed that we have quite reasonable gear as such. I wouldn't say we have top of the line cameras and gears that will get you the best quality footage as such, but we do have above average gears, which does help us share our love for aviation with everyone, especially with people all across Sydney, Australia, and everywhere in the world. I do recollect when I posted one of the videos in Los Angeles that I filmed last year, and there was someone who came to us saying that they would love to see what aviation is like in Sydney, because it's more regional specific. Like you see over here today, we caught Peach, we had El Al, that's something that we didn't see, the Israeli airline. Then we saw Jeju Air just now. That's something we don't really see in Sydney. And even if they wanted to start their routes, it's way too hard to get slots at Sydney Airport. Again, aircrafts, and you need to fill up that many people on an aircraft, let alone filling up a Boeing 737. Even if it has the range, you might as well not able to fill up, because a lot of people would just use Korean Air as such. So, with all of that things, keeping that in mind, we always want to share a lot of the aviation things that happen. And likewise, if you would have seen our stream from about 2 days ago, you're at Tokyo Haneda, we weren't getting much of the action, not much departures or arrival action as such, because it was a lull at that time of the day. I think it was about 10 o'clock in the night. But we did get a lot of loading and unloading action. So loading of the luggage, loading of the food, the refueling. So, all of those things, because they are relating to aviation and they are serving the planes, catering to the planes, it was something that really made our day as well. And, anything relating to aviation is something that we want to bring to all of you, because I think a lot of people have this misconception that aviation is just planes as such. So what they think is it's all about just planes departing, planes arriving. But sadly, that's not the case. There's a lot more to aviation than just that. So I would say the luggage, the ground handlers, and so on and so forth. It's more like, I would say that it complements aviation. Of course, it's aviation related. It complements, because without all of those additional services, you just wouldn't have planes taking off and landing as such. What are they going to do? They are going to take off, and land, but you're not going to be having much of those people around. So, yes. So, for us, because of all that, we feel that we want to share the love of aviation with everyone. And that is what we are going to do. But stick around. Apart from, all of those YouTube shorts, we also filmed our journey more in a trip report style of format. I wouldn't say it's a report. It's more of a trip documentation. So we did document our flight from Sydney to Singapore on flight SQ222. We then documented our flight on SQ635 from Singapore to Tokyo Haneda. So you see, there's quite a bit that we have filmed. So those trip reports, trip documentations are going to come soon. And, those are ASMR style videos. So we haven't spoken anything on them. We aren't going to even be putting subtitles, because our main reason for doing those trip documentations are so that, we can document it, so that people who want to travel on the similar flight, like let's say someone wants to travel on SQ222 in maybe a month or two, which is from Sydney to Singapore, they can just go and have a look at that video of ours. Of course, it's not going to have any opinions as such, whether something was good, something was bad and all, because, everyone knows this thing, that on one day, the catering for food for a similar dish that I had may be bad, but maybe you travel tomorrow and it may be good. So, it's a hit and miss sometimes with in-flight catering, and likewise with service, the soft service that's from the flight steward, etc. Some days the flight steward could be having a bad day, or, they may be going through something, and it's always a challenge. So considering that, we wouldn't be putting any opinion as such, but we do document it. So if there's any particular aspect of a flight that you would like to watch, then, people are always free to watch. So we do have those. Even tomorrow, we will be trying to document our check-in experience and, the boarding, takeoff, possibly if we have a window seat, which we don't know till now. It's Scoot. If they give us a window seat, it's fine. If they give us an aisle seat, it's fine. If they ask us to stand on the flight, I mean, it's still fine, but yeah, pretty much that's not what they will. Oh, wow. Wow, Lufthansa cargo, wow. Oh, super lovely. But yeah, so this is what I was saying, is that, if we get a window seat, then yes, we will also we will document the takeoff and landing experience as well. But, Scoot doesn't have meals. Unless you booked your flight on Singapore Airlines and then, you're transferring on to Scoot or something, you then end up getting a meal, or vice versa. But then in our case, we booked separate tickets. Like I said, this was more of a business trip for us. So it wasn't like, we are just going to be spending money all across, because we've got to be quite reasonable and then be documenting the same for our tax purposes for the business. So, we've got to go to the accountants and stuff like that. So, yeah, just to be fair with everything, we booked separate tickets. So that would be nice. And, because of that, we won't have any meals on tomorrow's flight. But, instead of that, what we could probably document is whatever we can, perhaps the safety card. I don't know, all of these trips actually are more of an excitement for us because we don't really know what we are filming. Yes, we do know that we are going to film a particular flight. Like for tomorrow, I know I'm going to film flight TR809, which is from Tokyo Narita to Singapore Changi. But we don't have a story, like when a movie is made, when a movie is prepared, or maybe a TV series or anything as such, you have a story, you have a backstory to how things start, what's the main hook of the movie, and what's the end. But we don't have a story. We go there, we film so that we have that authentic everyday experience. So tomorrow, if you're going to take the same flight, TR809, you're going to get a pretty similar experience as us. Of course, you're not going to get 100% exactly the same as us because, like I said, the soft product, it's all a human factor. Maybe the airline, maybe the flight stewards, maybe the cabin manager, they keep changing. The same person will not perform the very same every single day, just like how we work. Every day we don't really have the same productivity and throughput as such. So yeah, that's how it is. So we want to bring that true authentic experience, and that's the reason, we don't really have a story in mind. We do know what we are going to film. Like I said, probably if I get a window seat, then yes, I will film the takeoff, the landing. We won't have food on that flight. So yeah, there won't be food, but you never know. Maybe if we are too hungry, we might as well just purchase something on board. If we do purchase something on board, how would that be? Would it be good enough? Would the quantity be good enough? Would the portion sizes be good enough? Yeah, that's something that we need to see. As far as I know, I traveled on Scoot earlier this year as well, but it was a transfer through Singapore Airlines. So I booked the first leg of the flight on Singapore Airlines and the second leg on Scoot. And at that time, I did get my meal. But I've noticed Scoot has slightly smaller portion sizes with their food. So let us see tomorrow if we are hungry or something. Might as well just get some food on Scoot and let us see. So this is what I'm saying. We don't really plan much what we are going to film, but those are the videos that are also going to come over the next month. So you're never going to be left high and dry with the videos that we put out over here on our channel, but definitely there'll be a lot that comes in. Oh, yes, Aaron, yes, Chinese New Year is very soon. And that's, we did consider that because Chinese New Year time, again, it's going to be super busy travel period. And we wanted to avoid that because, like I said, we need to be looking at the costs a bit too. Else, if the costs go too high and then we don't have the returns as such, then, that's going to be a thing. Again, with the returns, we aren't focused as much as we would like to be, because at this stage what we want to do is just build a base, try getting that views, and that's what we did last year. Went to Los Angeles, and this time at Tokyo Haneda, today Tokyo Narita. Again, Tokyo Narita should have started the stream quite early on, but because of the snow, the buses were delayed and things like that. But yes, that's what the plan is. But yeah, we actually intentionally tried avoiding the Chinese New Year to avoid the rush as such, so that we could get whatever we could, at the right price, and avoid that crowd and those things. Oh, really, Aaron? That's something new to me. I didn't know. Probably Israeli airline. Yeah, I think Malaysia and Indonesia are something on the political side. I'm not too well versed with the politics with Malaysia and Indonesia. How they deal with Israel. But yeah, I'm guessing probably there could be some friction out there. So yes, hopefully, they could travel. But I do know that LR, they are quite strict with their check-in procedures and all. They've always been. So yeah, I wish they could, all of these issues could be resolved, and they can fly to Singapore, because I think they have a great market in Singapore at least. Yes, I will definitely leave before that. It's just a few days, 2-3 days, and get that rest, get that time off, and hopefully then go back soon, and then travel to Dubai, Sydney, and whatnot. I wanted to visit a few other Middle Eastern countries as well, but before we even plan, we need to do a recce of it. It's like, what are we getting? What's the return out of it? Are we going to get some new airlines or something like that? If not a new airline, at least the liveries that makes it worthwhile. We are planning to fly to Frankfurt just for a day, perhaps not even a day. I do know that Singapore Airlines flies, not Singapore Airlines, sorry, Lufthansa flies its Boeing 747-400, okay, -400 to Singapore, and it departs Singapore Changi about 12:20 p.m. or somewhere around there every day on the 747-400. Now, 747-400 is something that I have never ever flown, and I would love to do that. But having said that, living in Sydney is quite hard. So I do see a case for it this year, considering, the 787-9 of Lufthansa now has the special livery. They'll be having another special livery coming up on their cargo flight or something. I remember reading that article from Simply Aviation or something. But I think once both of those aircraft are flying, hopefully when we fly to Frankfurt, that's something we get. So what we want to do at that time is document the 747-400 flight, reach there Frankfurt. I think it arrives early morning at Frankfurt, and then stay over there, and then take the very same flight late night. Of course, it's going to be a different plane, but the same flight number back home to Singapore. So within 2 days, we should be back to Singapore. So it's like one night, reach over there the very same night, take the flight to Frankfurt, reach there early morning, stay the whole day, and then I think when the flight departs to Singapore Changi, the 747-400, take that one and be back to Singapore. So these are our plans. Let us see how it works out. So stay tuned. There's a lot to come. Oh yeah, there you go. 11:40 p.m. Yeah. That's the thing. Yes. Yeah, that's the one, Aaron, that I'm talking about, the 747-400. And that's what we want to do. So, the Singapore 747-400, I was looking for tickets about November. So it was supposed to be this way. So I leave Sydney about taking the 4:10 p.m. flight and reach there at 9:10 p.m. But seems to be Singapore Airlines system, or perhaps even Lufthansa, wouldn't really be transferring the bags for whatsoever reason, both being Star Alliance and stuff like that. I would have thought it's going to be easy, but maybe they feel the connection is not possible. So in the end, we may have to do 2 separate tickets as such. So let us see how that thing works out. As of now, we have no concrete plans, but that's been on our mind for quite some time. So you never really know when it works out. Hey Dean, yes, right. Qantas's 747-400. It was quite an emotional one when they retired it. But in 2015, Sydney to Santiago. Wow, yes. Honestly, I've never really flown a 747-400 like I mentioned, Dean. But I do recollect when they retired the last 747-400, and then the pilots just off the coast of Sydney, they fly and then they get the whole formation of the kangaroo. That was quite an emotional thing to see. And yeah, I wish the 747-400 with Qantas would have stayed a bit longer. But, economies always play supreme. They always reign supreme with anything and everything else. And sadly, they don't really have it. And sadly, most other airlines have retired their 747s too. We do see 747-8 like we saw yesterday on the stream at Haneda. That's Lufthansa's retro livery. But the 747-400 has a totally different feeling. The 747-8, the -8s are going to be operated for quite a lot more time. But the -400s, they won't be too long enough. So that's one thing we want to do and capture, so that we can always have those videos for future generations. I know a lot of people who have traveled on a 747-400 time and time again. And here we are, that we haven't even traveled once. So yeah, we would love to travel on that. But what was your experience, Dean, traveling on the 747? How did you like it? Is it noisy? I heard the windows are quite small compared to other newer aircraft that we see today. What was your experience? Did you like it? What exactly is something that you were looking forward to traveling on a 747? Was it more of the nostalgic feeling? Was it something that you knew is going to happen, that a lot of airlines are retiring their 747s and you don't really want to miss out on it? What exactly was your motivation behind that? Yeah, I understand the 747 SP, right? I can understand. You would have been very emotional, Dean, with that one. Yes, I'm pretty stoked that you even recollect your first international flight. Wow. And how good was that, to start off your international flying on a 747 SP? Wow, in 1982, that's a good 44 years. Wow, Auckland to Sydney. Wow. Can you even imagine today today no one wants to use a 787 as such, for flights. Jeff and I were just talking about an hour ago when the stream started that 787s is something Qantas doesn't even want to use on its Sydney to Haneda route, when Sydney to Haneda seems to be quite a popular one, especially for tourists and people working in Japan. They still are using the A330s. So yeah, and back then, 44 years ago, using a 747 Auckland to Sydney, come on, it's literally just a jump through, but yeah, I can totally get that. I can get that feeling. Yeah, very rarely is something like that I would able to hear, but good to know, Dean, because that's not something I knew about. But yeah, listening to 747 stories and stuff like that brings about the goosebumps. And yeah, I wish, we had more of those 747s. Would have been so much easier for us to travel. Hey Jeff, my favorite livery on the plane. Okay, I've had quite a lot. I've seen quite a lot of Emirates flights. I've seen, because most of the time when I have been at Dubai, I see a lot of them. And anywhere in Dubai, when you are there, you see a lot of Emirates flights taking off, departing. You don't really need to be even close to the airport as such. You can just spot them out of nowhere, departing. And the fact that that's an A380 capital of the world, Terminal 3 of Dubai International Airport, if you know, Terminal 3 is filled with all the A380s of Emirates. Of course, now you see a bit of A350-900s that have come in new since last year, and the Boeing 777-300, but most of them being A380s. I used to like the Museum of the Future, the NBA livery. I haven't seen the NBA one in real life. I did spot the Courier delivery, the Courier Express delivery, and the Courier Express livery of Emirates in October, on October 9th to be precise. We put it up on our YouTube shorts, as well as I spotted it recently in January as well. That was the day we were supposed to live stream, and we had technical difficulties with our encoder as well as the 5G, and we just couldn't bring our live stream to success. And in the end, we ended out missing on capturing it too. But yes, the other day, I did capture the 80th anniversary livery on the A350 of Cathay Pacific, registered as BLRJ. And mate, I tell you, it looks wonderful. So as of now, that one. But I want to see the livery of ANA, the green one. I just purchased a model aircraft from Haneda Airport of that. And I wish I could have spotted it at Haneda. Sadly, things didn't work out. The weather really turned on us. But no complaints whatsoever. Whatever we got, we got. But definitely we will be looking out for more. Okay, all right. What is that aircraft there? Is that a 747? It is. Okay. We should get that. But Jeff, that's my favorite livery, BLRJ of Cathay Pacific, the 80th anniversary lettuce leaf livery. Oman Air is returning to Singapore after 8 years away using the 787-9. Hey, Aaron, I have seen Oman Air 787-9. I've seen their flight reviews posted by one of those very many popular reviewers on YouTube. And it was great to see them. It seems to be Oman Air is trying to now, compete with those big three, that is Qatar Airways, Emirates, and Etihad. Hopefully, they are quite successful with it. They are starting to get there. And we hope to see some really, really good progress on that one. But yeah, it will be nice when they fly to Singapore. There'll be more options for people transferring and transferring onwards to Europe as such. But again, the price has got to be right, because we do have Singapore Airlines, who is a master over there at Singapore. They will definitely not want to lose their market share, especially considering, Singapore Airlines flies to Frankfurt, to London Heathrow, and so many other places in Europe. Definitely Singapore Airlines is going to be playing around quite well with their prices, as well as offerings, as well as the connections. So let us see how that works out. Definitely Oman Air has got to be doing some real good homework before they end up with their first flight out there. Alrighty, is there any action happening? I don't even see any planes being pushed back. I think they're quite slow over here, or maybe they just don't really have as much time. Hey Dane, so you said you loved it because you loved planes since you were a kid. Comfort was pretty good. It did have that getting older vibe about it, but you took heaps of photos. Great experience. Oh yeah, thanks Dean for sharing. I'm pretty sure you are going to be valuing those photos like gold. A 747, your picture, your personal pictures on a 747. You would not want to part with them no matter what, and I get it. I hope you can always stay with those pictures, get to share your experiences with a lot of other people about the 747s. And this is what we want. As aviation, as new models come and go, a lot of people a lot of people don't really take much consideration to flight models as such. I do know at work, a lot of people tell me that they don't really find a difference at all. They find all planes to be same. And it really it really makes me a bit crazy when they say that, because how can you not know the difference? I do understand, not everyone is in AvGeek, not everyone is into aviation as such, but you definitely would know something like the seat pitch, or perhaps the comfort levels, or whatever. You would find some difference. As a layman, I would say, as AvGeeks, we obviously will just look at a plane from far off and be like, oh yeah, that's a 747, oh yeah, that's a -8, 747-8. If we look at the engine nacelles where it has those chevrons. But let's say someone traveling day in, day out, an Airbus A321 or Boeing 737, whatever, you definitely would able to tell it apart, unless someone's not at all interested in aviation and all they need to do is travel for the heck of it. But I don't really know why people always feel that it's the same. So I can totally understand, when you say, Dean, I'm pretty sure you would have cherished that moment at that very time, and maybe you would want to live through it. And hopefully, we can bring some of that experience back to you after 44 years, after 1982. Hopefully in 2026, we can bring the experience of traveling on a 747 back to you whilst we fly from Singapore Changi to Frankfurt. Let's see when that is. We don't really know, but most likely it should be the European summer. The European summer for aviation starts off very soon. I think it starts off in March or something like that. Hey Aaron, your first international flight was SQ or Thai Airways. That's Singapore Thai to Bangkok. It was in 2007 or 8 or 7 or 8 at either 4 or 5 years old. Wow. Do you have much memories of that? I'm pretty sure the flight stewards would have loved you for being so cute, right? I'm guessing, Aaron, you would have been pretty mischievous. Yeah, I have no idea. But then the fact that you seem to love aviation so much, Aaron, I'm guessing you would have been one of those kids wanting to get to know more about planes and stuff like that. Do you recollect anything from what you did that time, your first flight? What exactly was it? But thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing, Aaron. Thanks for sharing, Dean. Appreciate it. It was on a 777-300ER, 330-300, or another wide body. Yeah, the fact that it was a wide body would have made a lot sense, right? People usually enjoy the wide bodies as such, and the wide bodies are the ones that most people go crazy about, and that includes me as well. We are all guilty of that. A lot of people do love the narrow bodies too, no doubt, but the fact that narrow bodies seem to be in operation for quite a longer time, narrow bodies, they may do their work new in a lot of first world countries, or maybe even other countries where the demand is too high, and then eventually you see them now, not looking down on anything. Alrighty, that's Nippon Airways 747. Like not looking down on any of the countries or whatsoever as such, but then you would see most of the airlines or most of the airliners, the 737s, the A321s, the A320s, after being used for about 25-30 years, if they aren't being used as a cargo plane, if they aren't being converted, they end up being somewhere around in Africa or things like that. Yeah. So, this is just an observation. Not putting anyone down, not putting a particular country or a continent down as such. It's just an observation that, a lot of planes do go over there, and rightly so, because after 25-30 years of use, definitely you're getting those planes at a very cheap price. But aviation safety is something that is questionable over there. Yeah, they are improving. If you see a couple of videos, yes, they are improving with aviation safety, but it's not up to the mark, So yeah, I can totally understand that those 777-300s or whatever you would have traveled back then, being on a wide body, it would be pretty much, a very good one. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Hey Jeff, wow, that's very nice. The destination Dubai one, sadly, I haven't seen that. I missed it out in December because even in December we were overseas, we were not in Sydney. And I guess someone told me that the 787 had come, not the 787, the destination Dubai had come into Sydney. So yeah, we missed out on that. The Yam Dreaming livery, yes, the Yam Dreaming livery looks lovely. We have a video of that on our channel. We got that one, I think, back in October or November. And the 100-year anniversary. I'm telling you, Jeff, the 100-year anniversary looks so awesome. We have a video of that too on our channel. The 100-year anniversary is something that I really love. Looks so nice, super nice. In support of the UN livery on Xiamen Air, yes, I've seen that one. I don't think I may have filmed on that day. I can't even recollect, but even when you don't have the UN livery, I find Xiamen Air's livery to be very exciting, sort of, very vibrant, very contrasting as such. I really love it. I find it very bright, very catchy, so it's more exciting than anything else, and I love it. Thanks, Dean. Yes, we will keep you informed. Hopefully during the Northern Hemisphere summer is what we are planning to do, the 747-400. And yes, it should be a good one. We want to do that before the 747-400s are gone out, because I think Lufthansa is the last major legacy carrier, or perhaps one of the world's best carriers, to still be using the 747-400s. Apart from that, I think someone did mention to me the 747-400. I think it would have been at work, or I don't know where. Someone did mention that you could be going somewhere in the Middle East and get one of those 747-400s. But I do think they may have mentioned something like a special aircraft as such, not something that's used as a daily regular 747-400 service. I really want to do it as a day in, day out commercial service, because that is what brings the true feeling. That is what millions of people have traveled on. That is what millions of people have experienced, and that is what I would love to experience too. So let us see. Hopefully that one goes well. All right, Dean, I think you'll be leaving, so take care of yourself, have fun, and yep, should be about 8:40 p.m. in Sydney. Take care, rest well, and talk soon. Once again, Dean, thank you very much for the tip. Appreciate it. Thanks for being so kind and generous. Thank you from the bottom of our heart. And like the Japanese say, arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you, Dean. Oh, Aaron, yeah, if you were noisy, I don't really know what to say, but come on, don't be too harsh on yourself. You were a kid, all kids have to be noisy. If you're not noisy and you behave like an adult when you're a kid, then I don't know what to say, what you would do when you're an adult. So yeah, no problem at all. Don't be hard. But yeah, I'm pretty much happy that, you would have enjoyed your flight. Hey, Aaron. My longest flight has been from Los Angeles to Dubai, which is a 16-hour flight. And we did that last year, January. That's when I went to the United States, went to New York, and then from New York to Los Angeles. Again, Los Angeles was our plane spotting schedule as such. So, we did a bit of spotting, but we weren't live streaming back then. So we just did a bit of YouTube shorts type of thing. But yeah, that's the one. Jeff, when COVID was just about to hit us. I think back in late 2019 is when I was planning Auckland to Doha, Qatar, which at that stage was the longest non-stop flight. It was a 17-hour and 45-minute flight or something. And we were planning to do that flight about, April or May of 2020. But as you know, January is when COVID struck, and then by March, everything just went down south. And then eventually, yes, that wasn't the longest flight anymore in the world. Right now, it's Singapore, New York, Liberty, as well as Singapore, JFK. We do want to do that one, but, we need to get the ticket prices right, because get the ticket prices right as well as get leave from work, because when you travel from Singapore to New York, of course you're traveling back in time and stuff like that. You're still saving time. But when you travel from New York to Singapore, you end up losing 2 days, even though your travel journey is just about 18 hours, 55 minutes, 19 hours. So that's something we really need to work on. Let us see how it works, because premium economy and economy is all premium economy and business is all that they have. So that's another thing. There's quite a lot for us to do on that one. Quite a lot of homework actually to do on that one. Hopefully we can bring all of that action to you all someday. But as of now, it's Los Angeles to Dubai, the 16-hour flight. And mate, I tell you, I enjoyed that 16-hour flight. Not for one moment did I feel that I want to be on the ground. Again, having said that, I usually don't watch movies on a flight because I'm not a great fan of movies as such. I don't really watch movies. But at the same time, it was exciting for us nonetheless. So, it's like, happy to do it. And would definitely do it again. But if the timing and everything is right, we would love to do the longest flight in the world as of now. That's Singapore to New York or JFK. Let us see. End of the year, Qantas gets its A350 1000 ULR ultra long range. I'm guessing they will start off with their Sydney to New York and Sydney to London service early 2027. Let us see. We don't really know when exactly they're even getting the delivery. Till now, all we know is that it's going to come towards end of the year. But let us say, if we say the end of the year is about October or November, I'm pretty sure they will be starting off their services in December, just in time for Christmas, to capture that Christmas traveling crowd and the rush, and especially it's going to give them a great pricing advantage at that time. Capture the Christmas crowd, capture the non-stop market, and at the same time get a premium out of it. And yes, Jeff, that's the time. I would still want to see what the tickets are like, and if I'm lucky enough, might as well just do that. Let us see what works out well. Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay, 777-200 of Singapore Airlines back then. Yeah, I think 777-200 would have been good enough as well, right? Like 200 and 300. Yeah, very, very nice regardless. Your longest flight is from Singapore via Dubai to Lisbon, Portugal on Emirates A380 and 777-300ER. Yes, right. I think Singapore to Dubai would be about, how long does that take? 8 hours, 8.5 hours, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't really know. I've never flown Singapore to Dubai as such direct. So let me know. I think it's about 8.5 hours or something. But if I'm wrong, just let me know. And Lisbon, Portugal. So did Emirates fly its 777-300 from Dubai to Lisbon? I'm guessing that's how it is, right? Because I don't think they would have had much crowd in Lisbon to fill up the A380. Unless I'm wrong, please correct me on that as well. Second longest is Barcelona to Singapore via Dubai 777-300 and A380. Third longest is either Singapore via Sydney to Hobart or Hobart via Melbourne to Singapore on Qantas. Oh, okay, cool. So I think you've done quite a lot around that same time range, and trying to literally pull on that longest flight limits. Yeah, that makes sense. You're one of that exciting aviation kids, I guess, Aaron. Like, by the sounds of it, by the places you visited, the planes you have traveled on. Yeah, I wish you all the best. Maybe try getting Singapore to New York, Liberty, New York, JFK. Try doing that one. Maybe the longest flight. So yeah, it would be fun. Singapore to Dubai, 7 hours and 30 minutes. Dubai to Lisbon, 8 hours and 30 minutes. Ooh, I thought Dubai to Lisbon would have been about 6 hours, 6.5. I didn't know that. Good to know. Thank you very much. I've never been to the continent of Europe as such. So yeah, I didn't really know anything about it whatsoever. Shortest flight is Porto to Madrid on Air Europa E190. Oh, okay. I think you mentioned the E190 the other day. I think day before yesterday on our live stream, day before yesterday in the evening. Thanks for sharing all this. Great to know that, you've got a lot of experience flying on different models of planes. Even I haven't traveled on as many models as such, because we usually keep doing the same flights, same timings, so we don't really get much of the exposure. But I'm glad you have traveled on so many of them. Barcelona to Dubai, 7 hours, 45 minutes. Okay, that sounds reasonable, I would say. Spain to, yep, cool, makes sense. You got a jet lag after coming back from Spain. 2 weeks jet lag, 7 hours. Wow. How did you cope up with jet lag? How did you cope up, Aaron? What do you do differently when you have jet lag? Do you do anything? Do you try sleeping? Maybe try out those foods? Some people, they mention it on YouTube and stuff. When you try having some certain type of foods, it helps and whatnot. I've never really tried all that. I just, get over with it for apparently no reason. Usually when I travel and then the following day I'm going to work in Sydney, I'm like really groggy and sleepy, but I just continue, and eventually I wait for the next weekend, and then the following weekend I crash out, sleep, and then I'm fresh. But what do you do differently? Do you try out one of those foods and stuff like that? Hey, Sticky Rice. Hello, Sticky Rice. Please stick with us on our stream. Sticky Rice, welcome to our stream. Please stick with us on our stream. Stick to our channel. Subscribe to our channel. If you're enjoying the stream, like it. Please give it a like. I know it's quite dark. I know there's not much of visuals that we get over here, but we are continuing it for our esteemed viewers. Please stick with us, Sticky Rice. Thank you very much. And we love your username, Sticky Rice. Hey everyone, say hi to Sticky Rice. Wow. Wow. We love you, Sticky Rice. Thank you so much for being on our stream. This is our last stream from Tokyo Narita. We came here in love and peace. We are going from here in love and peace. We came to Tokyo Haneda. Tokyo Haneda accepted us quite well. Tokyo Narita accepting us quite well. This is the view from a hotel room. A snowy day, you can see a lot of snow everywhere. Spoiled our plans this morning of getting our sunrise arrival and departure at Tokyo Haneda. But nevertheless, we loved Tokyo Haneda so much that we are definitely going to come back this summer. So yeah, stay tuned. But Sticky Rice, thank you very much. We love you, and we love your username. Thank you. Oh, Aaron, you did not sleep until 7 a.m. That sounds tough, mate. That sounds really tough. You didn't sleep till 7 a.m., which means you spent the whole night. Yeah, that would be tough. Jet lag is real, actually. Sadly, jet lag is real, and yeah, to try to cope up with it, it's a bit crazy. But yeah, Aaron, hopefully, everything went well during that time. Yeah, I'm glad you had your school holidays. Else, let's just suppose, you came back you're having the jet lag, and let's say in a day or two you got to go to school, what would you do? It's like, it gets a bit annoying actually. It gets a bit annoying. You get a bit cranky. You feel tired, you feel hungry, but then you don't really know why you're feeling hungry in spite of, you just have had your meal in the last hour. So I can totally understand that. So yep, I'm totally glad that, you had a holiday back then. Alrighty, what has happened to the arrivals? Nothing coming in, maybe just one of those lulls over here at Tokyo Narita. Alright, let us look at Japan Airlines, Airbus A3. Oh, that's the 787-8 Dreamliner, quite a small one. The 787-8 Dreamliner looks quite small. The 9 looks like a regular sized one because we end up seeing the Dash 9 so regularly. And then the Dash 10 does look slightly larger. Yes, I get it, Aaron. You would literally feel like a zombie. It's like you're awake, but you're still sleeping type of thing. Yeah, totally get it. But that jet lag hits real, I tell you. It really hits real. Why did you not sleep from Singapore to Lisbon and Barcelona to Dubai? Wasn't it supposed to be on, world-class carriers like Emirates and Singapore? What exactly caused you to stay awake? Was it the noise? Were there noisy co-passengers? What exactly was happening on those two flights? Or was it just that you were excited? Or perhaps the departure and arrival times were so crazy that it wasn't even the right time to sleep? What exactly was happening? Oh, okay. So you can never sleep on a plane. So probably I think it's more of a comfort level thing. Maybe you aren't comfortable sleeping, or perhaps you find that noise too much, like, the usual plane ambient noise, people talking, or the galley, or you can hear people walking around and those type of things. What exactly would it be? Or perhaps it's just that you don't really enjoy much of, your sleep. I know a lot of people, including a lot of my friends at work, they say they will never ever sleep on a plane just because they feel someone could be watching them. And at the same time, they value their sleep quite a lot. So they say that if they have to sleep, they need their eye mask on, even if the room is dark. So, you can understand when they're sleeping on a plane, you can't really get a whole dark room, not a room as such, not a whole dark cabin, regardless of whichever class you're flying in first class economy or, premium economy, business. You always have a bit of light in the cabin regardless. So yeah, I can totally understand if that's the case. But yeah, I do know a lot of my friends, they would never really sleep on a flight. They would prefer sleeping anywhere else, but not on a flight. I can get that. So is it something same for you? Aaron. I can totally understand. With kids crying, yes, I can understand. Sometimes it can be a bit uncomfortable. It can be a bit unsettling for everyone. But with kids, kicking, I don't know how to put it. I don't really want to be one of that moral policing guy as such. None of us want to be, but I think we all need to be considerate of each other, where I think the parents could have, told the kid that, yeah, that's not the right thing to do, and, things like that. We've got to be considerate. And sadly, I totally understand you, Aaron. I've seen it happen on a lot of flights where, the parents wouldn't be controlling their child, and such things happen. They do throw a tantrum. They be kicking the seat in front of them and stuff like that. So I can totally understand. Just around I think December, when we were flying out, Aaron, when we were flying out to Singapore, usually I prefer getting the seats towards the extreme back of the plane, just because I find it quieter there for some reason. When I say quieter, it's like not much people unless, they're going to the washroom as such. And there was an old couple who happened to sit next to me, but they didn't know that they were on the last row. I'm guessing probably they just got auto-assigned seats, or perhaps they would have not even bothered, maybe they weren't one of those aviation fans as such. But I'm pretty sure they would have been well traveled, or perhaps they would have traveled and taken a lot of flights. And I say this because the moment they got to know they were on the last seat, the husband says to the wife, "Yay, so definitely there's no one kicking us in the back." And then I was thinking, okay, so they are talking about kids. So I can totally understand you, Aaron. Yeah, I would expect more people to be considerate of others. We can understand, kids do these things and whatnot, but at the same time, there's a limit to everything. And I would love if more parents could be a bit more considerate and let their children know that that's not the thing to be done. When you're kicking someone, when you kick the seat from behind, you might as well not realize that the impact, the chair shakes, the seat shakes, sorry. And, there's people trying to sleep. There's people trying to get back to work next morning after they reach home, wherever they are off to. Or perhaps they won't even be having that luxury of getting a holiday or getting the time off. So yeah, I think if we all are considerate enough, it would be better. But sadly, that's not always the case. I would have loved parents to be a bit more cautious, a bit more considerate when they do travel with their kids. Oh yeah, Aaron, I totally get you. I totally get you with booking the seats. If you wait till the time you reach the airport, yeah, you're not going to get the seats anyway, because a lot of people by then, after at check-in, that's before check-in opens, 48 hours before check-in opens, there'll be people who have already booked their seats regardless. And when check-in opens, there'll be even more people selecting their seats. So yes, it's always good to reserve your seat if you have a particular preference as such. But yeah, if you don't have a preference, that's totally fine too. But yeah, I'm glad you actually get your seats done, so to avoid those last minute crazy things happening. Yeah. And it's always a good practice, especially when you're traveling with family and all, because I've had a couple of people ask me to change my seat. And usually I will always prefer getting an aisle seat and stuff, which is fine, It's like I don't mind swapping seats with someone when it's needed. But sometimes what happens is you've paid for your seat. And when you've paid for a particular seat and then people want you to swap, that is where the issues begin, People think you don't really want to help them out, but nah, that's not the case. People just want to stay at a particular seat because they're paid for it. That's what they prefer, and because they prefer, they paid for it, right? So yeah, it's always a two-way conversation. It's always a debate that's going to go on. I know a lot of that happens, but yeah, I'm glad that you at least book your seats, because there are certain seats that will just go off very fast. People want to avoid the middle seat, but eventually someone has to get them. And yeah, I think the ones who don't really book their seats are the one who lose out the most. So you got the last row 63A, B, and C. You mentioned row 63A, C. Which aircraft is this? And what about B? Or is it like B and C where the seat next to the window had a bit of gap? Which aircraft are you talking about? Are you talking about the 787-10? I do know the 787s have just two seats at the back, but I think they go up to row number 72 or 73, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there. I know on the A380 we have up to 77 or 78 on Singapore Airlines. Of course, I'm talking about Singapore Airlines configuration. Each airline has it differently, but 63A and C, if this is the last row, yeah, I'm not too sure which aircraft that would be. Which aircraft was it? Would it be the Boeing 777, 200, 300? I think the 300ER would again have a bit more seats, right? 767 300ER. Ooh, okay. Alrighty, hold on. So you say A and C, no B on the plane. 767 300ER. So it's a 242 seating configuration. So you have 2 on the left, 4 in the middle, 2 on the right. Wow. So the seating configuration for that one says 63A and C. So you don't have the letter B. Is that correct? So is it A, C, then D, E, F, G, and then H and J? Because I don't think I've ever seen an I on a plane. So what exactly is it? Wow. That's exciting. I never ever knew the 767 just had 242 configurations. Wow, this is news to me. Yeah, rightly so. I've never been on a 767. I've spotted 767s very rarely. And I think, Aaron, the other day, we just spotted the 767 day before yesterday and the day before yesterday, the day we reached Tokyo Haneda. But yes, good to know that. Thanks for letting us know. Cool. Thanks, Aaron. Thank you. Wow. Good to know, it's like such great knowledge. Very nice. All right, guys, if you all have just joined us, we are here at Tokyo Narita. We aren't having the best views. We had a good view during the day just before sunset, but now we are just awaiting a lot of heavy arrivals. We did have quite a lot of arrivals, but at this very moment, it seems to be like a lull at this very moment. Okay, once again, this looks like a Christmas decoration, but it's not taken out. And I don't know. What is this one? Is it a snow girl? A snow woman? I don't know. Alright, what you see on screen, guys, is the shuttle bus that takes us to Tokyo Narita. And let us look at what we have. I think it is Jetstar. Yep, Jetstar Japan. We still have Qantas A330 over there. Should be getting ready for its flight to Brisbane, back to Brisbane. Won't be too long, I guess. Oh, so cool, no problem, Aaron. So it's going to be 232 configuration. That is a dream. It's like I've never seen one like that, 232 configuration. That's going to be super crazy to look at one. I'm glad you got to travel on a 767. Yeah, I like we saw just the other day. The day before yesterday and the day before that, we saw 767 Delta's 767. Yeah, it would be nice to get a good view of those 767s. Going to be fun. Hey, Haps. Yeah, we came to Japan. We came here totally just for the aviation as such. Because we heard about Tokyo Haneda's Terminal 3 observation deck being open 24 hours. We saw on Instagram a lot of people posting some really great videos and, pictures from the observation deck. And then we thought, why not give it a try? And we were planning Tokyo Haneda for quite some time, but, it just wasn't working out with work and, so many other commitments that we have. And eventually we thought, okay, let's make this a done deal, and we made it a done deal in October. In October was first when we announced to all of our viewers that we would be streaming and we would be visiting live Tokyo. We would be visiting Tokyo Haneda, and that's how it was. Tokyo Narita was never in the picture, actually, to be honest. We ended up at Tokyo Narita only because we need to fly Scoot from Terminal 1 tomorrow. So Tokyo Haneda was it for us, because Haneda, as you know, the observation deck is so close. The one at Narita closes in the night, and we wanted unlimited access as such, because as you would have seen, last night we couldn't stream because we had sleet. But the previous 2 nights we were there past midnight Japan time, so that's what we were trying to do. So yeah, this trip was all about aviation, and sadly, we didn't get to try much of the food. But let us be honest, okay? We did go to 7-Eleven and Lawson's, and I tell you, the quality of the food and the prices are so much more reasonable compared to Sydney. And we really were excited and pleased with the quality of the food. Yeah, we did try out a bit of their green teas, and the green tea, the type we would like, not like the one we get in Australia, which is more on a sweeter side for some reason. But then, that's, I think, nitpicking by me, because a lot of people would just like to do it in a very particular way. And it's totally fine. It's like, yeah, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, done. But yeah, we did try out a bit of their seafoods. We went to an izakaya, which is one of those chicken restaurants and things like that. Yeah, it was nice. It was really nice. But Haps, thank you very much. Do you have any recommendations for food? Because, Haps, we do plan to come to Tokyo Haneda later this year during the summer, so that we can get a lot of daylight. The weather will be nice on us, and except for rain, we will able to stream a lot more. So do you have any recommendations for us about traveling? About trying some foods? Please let us know, and we'll keep in mind. So hopefully the Northern Hemisphere summer is when we can make the best use of it. Please let us know. It would be great. It would be fun. Oh, 24 business seats, and business would be 1-1. Okay, if it was 1-1 on a 767, I'm guessing, Aaron, then the business seats would have been in the reversed herringbone format, right? Perhaps the old reversed herringbone. I know the new reversed herringbones are much more privacy oriented as such. The older ones, I do know, were not as much as privacy oriented. They used to be more sort of functional rather than privacy related type of thing. But let me know. I could be wrong on that, because that's not something I've really focused on at any time whatsoever. Jetstar Japan. Alrighty, let us zoom out a bit. Try getting some more brightness. Okay, we'll leave it at this, because this is much more brighter compared to the other ones. Oh yes, Haps, thanks for your kind words. Yes, to be very honest, we were quite discouraged this morning when it started snowing, and we lost all hopes. We were thinking we won't even get to thank the people of Japan and Haneda, because I'm telling you, Haps, Haneda stole a heart. Just because, apart from the landing and takeoffs, what we actually got is the loading, the unloading, all the ground handling activities, the customary bows and the wave-offs by the ground workers. It touched our hearts. And I was telling Jeff the other day, we happened to see a lot of Japan Airlines flights after being pushed back, and once they are ready to start off their taxi roll, they were literally the pilots were literally flashing their lights to the ground workers, just like how we would flash in lights when someone lets us in into the lane. So, that really touched our hearts, and we felt quite good about it, to see that a pilot doing it for ground workers. Come on, I mean, you go to anywhere else. I won't really name any countries as such. I think I would have never seen something like that happen anywhere else. So, usually there's this attitude and the type of things that play on people's mind, the ego. But the fact that in Japan they do that, hats off, kudos to them. So I was really impressed. But this morning we were depressed, we were discouraged. That's why, we I don't know if you have seen it, but we did a short 10-minute live stream from the bus terminal of Terminal 3 Haneda Airport, saying thank you to everyone, as well as we apologized for not getting the stream. But there was not much that we were able to do as well, because the observation deck was closed for safety reasons, considering, it was heavy snowfall as such. But thank you very much, Haps. We will keep this in mind, and, when we come back again to Tokyo, we will, just go for it. No, we didn't eat king crab. Aaron, we didn't eat king crab. What we ate is the crab cream croquet. Like I told you, literally when we go for dinner, we are in a hurry. We are in a hurry to just go back to the observation deck, and that is what was happening yesterday as well. But yesterday's hurrying up played no significance whatsoever in our streams, because we had sleet, we then had rain, so it was getting a bit crazy. So yesterday didn't work out, but we've been in a hurry all the time. Hey Aaron, I'm not too sure if they have different terminals, like different flights from different terminals, but I do see on the app Scoot says Terminal 1 for the flight to Singapore Changi tomorrow morning at 8. So unless they've changed or whatever, but I'll still check the board, as we just reached Terminal 1, I'll check the board to see if there's anything different. But I think I'll check it later tonight as well before we go to sleep. So, hopefully we don't really miss out on anything whatsoever. Hey Haps, I didn't try the egg and tuna sandwich, but what I will do is, we are at the hotel, probably go down to Lawson's and see if they have the egg and tuna. If they have the egg and tuna, we'll just pick it up and bring it. Let us see if it's tasty. We will enjoy it. If it's not, we'll still enjoy it. There's nothing much we can do, mate. There's nothing much. But literally to end the trip, let's give it a try. Hopefully we get the egg and tuna one. Aaron says, eat at Ichiran. Ichiran, okay. Ichiran, okay. Is it at the airport? Probably give it a try, but I think it's going to be too early tomorrow morning. 8:05 is a flight, which means we will have passed security and immigration at least about an hour prior. That is at the latest. But let us see. Whatever works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I'll keep this in mind. Ichiran, probably the next time around during summer. Come here and spend a lot more time and get a lot more of these aviation adventures. Alrighty, look at this bus. Again, a shuttle bus. Wow, these buses are cool. Should we start a new channel called Sydney Bus and Train Transport? I have no idea what I'm talking. It's like literally, if that's the case, we would be traveling all over the world. But I'm telling you, Tokyo has some great trains too. We did travel yesterday to Keikyu Kawasaki Station or something like that, on the Daishi line where you go downstairs, and we did get the 600 series of the plane, not the plane, of the trains. But apart from that, I don't know. There's a lot to explore in Tokyo. But for us, aviation has caught our mind. I'm pretty sure when I go back to Sydney and I tell my friends and my colleagues at work that all I did in Tokyo was spot planes and live stream, they will not believe me. They will think, how on earth did I do such a thing? Of course, we did visit the Shibuya Sky. Let's be honest about that. We did visit the Shibuya Sky and it was lovely. That's one of the things we wanted to do for quite some time because, seen so much of it on Instagram and YouTube. And getting a 360-degree view of the city was really amazing. It was, it was mind-blowing. It's similar to something like on the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. I've been there twice and the view is awesome. Again, you can also go to the Dubai frame. At the Dubai frame, you don't get a 360-degree view. You can see exactly below your feet because you have a glass panel, as well as on both the sides you have glass panels so you can see. So yeah, it brought back a lot of memories, but indeed good ones, to see these world landmarks, Shibuya Sky, Dubai, the Burj Khalifa, the Dubai frame. Then you go to Al Ain in Dubai and you end up getting the giant Ferris wheel. All those things, they are fun. So yes, that's the only touristy thing we've done here in Tokyo. Okay, Haps says izakaya yakitori. Okay, this word yakitori, I think I read it before, probably when I was researching or something. But yeah, thanks, Haps. This season is Oden. Also try the tempura. Hey, Haps, yes, we did try the seafood tempura, but I think, the restaurant messed it up yesterday. Sadly, it was... okay. Yeah, I think the restaurant messed it up because I'm pretty sure tempura tastes so awesome. Sadly, they didn't do it well. They did have good chicken and stuff like that, but the tempura for some reason wasn't even average, to be honest. So yeah, they did mess it up, but I'm a great fan of tempura, so definitely trying it again at another place when I come back. The airline have 26 of these 767-300ER layout. Average age is 18.7. Hey mate, Aaron, which airline are you talking about? That has the 767, 26 of the 767. Is it one of the airlines in the United States? I do know they've been fans of 767s for a while. Haps says the area around Kamata Station is full of variety. If you have time, Yokohama Station is also good. Ooh, okay, come on. I just missed out on Yokohama Station yesterday. The train that I took from Terminal 3 Haneda went to KQ Kawasaki, and then I think it was going onwards to Yokohama because I think the next station after KQ Kawasaki was Yokohama. So yeah, I think we missed out, but thank you very much. We will keep this in mind. Next time, yeah, we'll go for it. And thanks, Haps. Thanks for all your recommendations. We'll surely keep this in mind when we do come over here summertime. We will make good use of all these recommendations and get some great food and perhaps, have that great food from Terminal 3 Haneda. It's going to be fun to enjoy the food while spotting. Aaron, because my flight to Narita is T3. Whoa, mate, you're scaring me now. Oh, shit. Come on, let me look at it. But yeah, even if it's T3, it's good for me to know earlier because, we do have the hotel shuttle. So if it's T3, totally fine with going to T3 for the flight tomorrow morning. But yeah, I will give it a look. Thank you very much, Aaron, for letting me know. Let us see how it works out. Okay, we see another Jetstar Japan taxiing. Okay. Let us read more of the comments. Haps, if you have a chance, try JAL and then you'll laugh. What's up with that? What's up with that, Haps? What exactly is happening? Yeah, I would love to try Japan Airlines, no doubt about that. But, like I mentioned earlier, we didn't find a competitive pricing with Japan Airlines when we did want to fly out over here to Haneda. Can you even imagine? We took a flight to Singapore, from Sydney to Singapore, about 7.5 hours. We stayed there whole night at the airport, Singapore Changi. And then the next morning at 8:05 a.m., we take a flight to Tokyo Haneda, which is another 6 hours and 5 minutes. So eventually we ended up spending 25 hours for a flight to Tokyo. That should have taken a maximum of about 9 hours. And that's because we got the tickets at a very reasonable price on Singapore Airlines. But is there something about Japan Airlines? Why did you laugh? Or are you just being serious enough? We would love to try Japan Airlines, because we haven't really have had much choices as of now to travel with different airlines. So it would be great to try Japan Airlines. Yes, Haps, I do know the local shops are impressive, and I would love to try. I think more of the chain shops and the branded ones could, get a bit diluted with everything else. But I think the local ones are the more authentic ones. So I totally agree with you, Haps. Let's do it the next time. Hey, Aaron, you say you have never even been to the USA. No problem if you haven't been to the USA. Just maybe try the next time when you go to USA. That's the first time. Hopefully you can have a positive experience, especially considering the immigration line at New York, JFK, Los Angeles can be super crazy. When I visited New York last year, we arrived at JFK Emirates. I forgot the flight number now, but we did arrive at about 8:20 a.m. in the morning. And whilst we were in the immigration queue, I see Emirates already departs. I saw Air India that came in from Mumbai, and they got served and everything else, and then they departed back as well. Emirates departed, and there were so many other international flights that came in, Turkish Airlines, and then they departed back. And we were still in the immigration queue. Eventually, we ended up spending 3 hours and 43 minutes, to be very precise, in the immigration queue. And this is even before Trump was the president. Of course, he was the president-elect at that time, but he hadn't taken office yet. And now, considering they have gone even much more stricter with their border policies, where they want to check phones and stuff like that, and additional information. Maybe I don't really know what exactly the case is like, but hopefully it's not much of an issue there. And if you're traveling to the United States, I wish you luck. I think apart from the crazy immigration queue, the United States is not as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. Yeah, what you see on the news with the politics, that's a totally different thing. I'm not even qualified to comment on that, because I literally know nothing about their politics as such. But I would like to say that it's a great place. The United States is a great place. I always keep telling my colleagues that since I went to the United States, I feel even the food in the States is much better and reasonably priced compared to Sydney in Australia. Because what happens in Sydney is, you get good food, but you don't always get the good food that you would like to have. And then when you do get it, it's way too pricey for what you're offered. And the portion sizes could be smaller compared to the United States. By now, we all know that United States has the largest portion sizes as such. But for the price that they offer, I wouldn't complain. And the health problems and all that come with it is a totally different story. But I still think they have quite a lot of variety and things like that compared to Sydney, where the options are limited. Don't get me wrong, Sydney also has some really good places and stuff, but it's few and far to come by. Like, you go to the United States, yes, you're going to get a lot more options and a lot of variety, and that is what we miss in Sydney. That's why sometimes I'm a bit bored of the food in Sydney as such. So, yep, if you're going to the United States, Erin, please enjoy yourself. Hey, Erin, you will be going past Yokohama in March. How long will you be there? I think you mentioned yesterday 3 weeks or something, if I'm not mistaken. How long will you be there? If you're going to be quite some time, please enjoy yourself. I hope you have a great time, and hopefully at that time the weather will be so much better. Winter would have gone and it's going to be the cherry blossom season and stuff like that. Yeah, it's going to be nice for you. Okay, you say your plane is landing at T3 and departure at T3 also. Alrighty, cool, no problem. What I'm going to do is get a screenshot of my app which says T1, and maybe tomorrow when the shuttle drops me at T1, I will first go and check the departures board before even searching for the scoot counters. So that way it's going to be much better. So Aaron, 9 days and 8 nights. Okay, that sounds good enough. 9 days, pretty plenty. So yeah, I do know a lot of people, and there's one of my colleagues. She is going to be visiting Japan for 6 weeks. And she's already visited Japan 6 or 7 times earlier. She's one of those gaming people and stuff like that. So yeah, she wants to visit Japan and get all those gaming souvenirs and those type of things. I can totally understand. But even otherwise, she's more into Japan food and culture and things like that. So yeah, I can totally understand. She finds 6 weeks to be less, and but I think 9 days is pretty perfect. You're going to be super busy doing a lot of things, and at the same time enjoying yourselves. And at the same time, I think after a particular period, you'll be like, okay, let me go back to Singapore, sort of a thing. So yeah, Aaron, enjoy. I hope you have a great time in Japan when you indeed are here in March. And March is just next month, so it's around the corner. Get ready, Aaron. Hopefully you've already started packing your bags, or perhaps maybe you need to purchase a new bag for your trip to Japan. Get going, mate, get going. And I wish you the luck. I wish you all the very best for your trip to Japan. Hey Haps, Kawasaki City is also a hidden gem. Okay, cool. I heard about Kawasaki just yesterday. I've heard about Kawasaki bikes, actually, motorbikes and stuff like that. I think in Vietnam you have motorbikes which is named Kawasaki. So yeah, I did know that it was Japanese, and I did know it's a name of a place, but yeah, I wouldn't have even thought of it remotely that I would have heard Kawasaki until yesterday when the train I was on, they did mention about Kawasaki too. So yeah, thanks for letting me know this one. I will give it a try, give all this a try during our summer visit, and that's going to help quite a lot. At least the rain won't spoil it as much. Not rain, the snow won't spoil it as much, as well as, we'll be having a lot more daylight. The area around Tokyo can be tiring if you're not used to it. Mate, yes, I totally agree. Hardly even 3 days, hardly 4 days over here. And yeah, totally agree with that one. Whoa, you have 11 luggage bags or maybe suitcases. That's going to be a lot, mate. So all you need to do is open it up, pack your bags, and that's it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Cool. Good luck with it, mate. Cherry blossoms bloom in late March. Oh yes, Haps, this is what I was saying. Yeah, right? Like they bloom in late March. So I'm guessing Aaron should be able to get a very good view of those cherry blossoms and stuff like that. Yeah. Yes, Aaron, I did think of taking the train from Haneda to Narita. But for some reason, I was a bit skeptical, because we have big bags. We have a suitcase in which all our cameras and everything are packed quite tightly with the the cling wrap, and then on the outside we have the bubble wrap as such. And my main concern was just in case, we end up going down south with this one, just in case, because on the train we don't really know how we would able to handle the bags and with the crowd coming in and stuff like that. So yeah, we were trying to be a bit more cautious as such, I would say. So yeah, but hopefully next time, but yeah, I don't really think even next time we may able to take the train as such, just because the camera gear is way too much for us to handle as such in one suitcase. All by itself is fine, but the fact that the other suitcase has all the clothes and stuff like that, handling two suitcases could be a bit crazy. And yeah, we are a bit considerate towards the Japanese people, because we do know that they will be quite considerate of you, and in case you end up being on the bad side, or perhaps you piss them off with even the luggage a bit, then maybe they are not the ones who will approach you directly and tell you stuff as such. So just to avoid all those things, we thought we might as well just take the bus easy. So yeah, but hopefully next time we don't have to travel to Narita. But if we have to, still no complaints. We might as well hopefully ask for this very same room as such, so that we get a good view. But like you see, we are on the 4th floor, which is like 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one, very same level. But if we go up 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I don't know what that is on top, but yeah, probably ask for the 9th floor room, and we'll get a much better bird's eye view sort of a thing. And hopefully during the daytime when we have the stream, we'll get a very good view. Sadly, today we missed out on a lot of daylight, because of the snow and the delays as such. But yeah, what can you do, right? It's like every time we tried doing something, it kept getting bad. The first day, we ended up getting a bit late. The second day, the second day, the live stream was going well, and then it starts getting windy. The third day is yesterday, when there was a lot of sleet and then rain. So we just couldn't do our live stream last night. And today, being the 4th day, was a heartbreaker for us, where it starts snowing in the morning, and then the observation deck itself is closed, so we didn't get anything. So we literally gave up hopes that anything is going to work out well. But the only positive thing is we had one of the best streams ever yesterday afternoon, actually, with the 747-8 being the star. And yeah, and just when we thought that everything was over for our Japan trip, and things didn't work out quite well, we end up getting this view from our very room. And what more can we ask for? It's like we aren't complaining. So yeah, not the one that we would have hoped for, not the best trip that we would have hoped for, but it's not the worst one too. I tell you, we have had bad streams in Sydney where the sun plays crazy, the clouds play crazy, there's light falling directly into our lens no matter how we try positioning on certain days, and then certain times we don't even get the space that we want to stream from there, and then it ends up becoming a big mess. So yeah, compared to all that, yeah, we are quite happy, and especially considering the people of Tokyo being so kind, everything being so well done, and the observation deck, the observation deck takes out all the negatives. 24 hours on a good day, we can possibly stream for about 14-15 hours, and hopefully someday we can do it later this year in summer. We'll probably try streaming like a bit crazy, start early morning before sunrise. maybe take a break about afternoon time and then come late afternoon and start and take the stream until the night. If that's something y'all would love to, please, if that's something y'all would love to see, please, let us know, and we will be happy to bring those live streams to you all. Please let us know. We want to do that stream marathon, because at this stage, I think the longest stream that we've done is 8 hours and 1 minute at Sydney International Airport, and I think it was just about end of January. But yeah, if you all want to see a much longer stream at Tokyo, please let us know. We'll just reserve the longest stream to Tokyo rather than breaking the records in Sydney. Let us know what you like, and hopefully, we can do it that way. Hey, Haps. Come on, Vegemite. Come on. Hey, Aaron. Okay. I missed out. Sorry. I missed out on the order of the comments. Sorry. Let me go to this one. Okay. Aaron says, I'm not packing. My mom is. Okay. Hey, Aaron, say hi to your mom, and hopefully you're kind to your mom and not troubling your mom, mate. Come on. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure your mom is doing an absolutely wonderful job doing the packing for you. So yeah, I hope you, your mom, and everyone who's traveling with you have a great time in Tokyo. Pretty sure you all will be having an awesome time. Enjoy. Okay, so Aaron, you're going from the 26th March to 3rd of April. So pretty sure you're gonna get those cherry blossoms. Click some pictures, mate, and please tag us on Sydney Airport Aviation on Instagram. We haven't been there active around this time because, like I said, at work we have been super crazy, but we are going to be coming with a lot of pictures on Sydney Airport Aviation in this month to come, as you all know now that we are off work for a while. Okay, so Haps, you say if you introduce Vegemite, you'll be popular. All right, cool, Haps. I'm going to keep this in mind. When I go back to Sydney, I'm going to get a jar of Vegemite and probably base my theme of one of the aviation streams, or perhaps maybe even an aviation video around Vegemite. Let us see what we can do. Let me see what brainstorming I can do to introduce Vegemite to our aviation streams. But if you have any ideas, please let us know. Hey, Jeff. Yes, I did go to the Shibuya crossing, but Jeff, another thing, I wanted to see Shibuya crossing from top. So I went to the Shibuya Sky. So if you just search up Shibuya Sky on Google, you'll get the website, where you go up the building. The building is called Shibuya Scramble something. Shibuya Cross Scramble or something. Maybe just type it up. But the place where you have to be in that building is Shibuya Sky. It's pretty easy. You book your tickets online, or you can even book your tickets on any one of those sites like Klook and this and that. Klook may give you a slight discount. It's not too expensive. Tickets starting from morning until 3 in the afternoon is about equivalent of $32 or $33. Any ticket booked after 3 p.m. in the evening is about $37. The only difference being that you get a good view of the sunset. We tried getting the sunset tickets, but sadly the tickets were already sold out. So we booked the morning one. But what you can do is you can stay there as long as you want. So the morning session, which runs from when they open from 10 till about 3 is the max that you can stay. But if you book a ticket for after 3, you can stay there until 10 o'clock in the night. That's till they close. But I don't really know what you'll do as much. But most of the crowd will be just before the sunset, because it is said that you get a very good view of the sunset from Shibuya, the Shibuya Sky. So if you go up Shibuya Sky, the process is this way. You queue up at the base of the building. Then the lift takes you up to the 14th floor. At the 14th floor, you just deposit your belongings. Like, you can't carry a tripod or not a tripod, a monopod as such, but with the monopod, I'm not too sure if they're enforcing, because I did see one girl having a monopod as such, and she was filming her videos and things like that. But yeah, other things like a hat or things that cannot be secured around your neck is something that you have to deposit in the locker. You need to pay, I think, about I don't know what it is, 100 yen or something, which is refundable. So you just put it in the locker, and after that you take another lift and you go upstairs. No, you don't take a lift. So from there you just go out and then you're welcomed. So you have a little bit of open space where you can click pictures, see the city all around. And then you can take another escalator up from that very place, and then you have the helipad in the between, and then on all four corners you can see the city. On one corner there's a photographer who will click your picture. You've got to pay for that on your way down, but if you don't want, it's not mandatory as such. If you wanted to, then you can. They have selected a nice position where you can get those pictures. And yeah, apart from that, if you are more than a person, like let's say you and your family or you and your significant other are visiting, you can even have, book one of those couches, have a nice drink and things like that. But to get those drinks, yeah, you need a minimum of 2 people. So that's the reason I think they have mentioned it that way. And yes, that's the thing. So when you go up there, you can see Shibuya crossing and you get a very nice bird's eye view from top. But mind you, you need to have a camera which can zoom in. So, that will make quite a difference. So since we had the zooming camera, we got a very good view of the Shibuya crossing. So yes, Shibuya was something that I wanted to see, just like Times Square that I wanted to see in New York City. But apart from that, I haven't really done much, not much with the foods, no exploring as such. But again, like I said, we based our days so much around just the aviation thing that we didn't really even care about anything else. Again, Shibuya Sky is something, I don't know why we even did it, but yeah, the fact that we did is good enough. But yeah, let us see. But you should enjoy it. Hey, Aaron, you asked me what is my room size. So this. Okay. Where is it? Okay, I don't think we even mentioned the name of the hotel, right? Just a moment. Okay. What's happening there? Okay, when we zoom in too much, we are losing out on the aperture. Okay. If you can see, the name of the hotel is Toyoko Inn, Toyokoinn. So Toyoko Inn, there's 2 buildings. You see this one is the older one. It's Toyoko Inn Honkan. And the one that we are in right now is Toyoko Inn Shinkan. They both are joined together. So regardless of which one you stay, it's fine. Now, the thing is, this room is quite small. I would say the maximum room size is about 12 square meters. I was seriously shocked when I entered the room. I was like, what the hell is happening? Is this that small? Because literally when we were at Haneda Villa Grand Fontaine, it was triple the size of this. It was huge. It was literally huge. And yeah, in terms of amenities, they had 2 towels each and things like that. Over here, everything seems to be 1 each. So yeah, they're definitely cutting on costs. But again, at the same time, I would say that they aren't charging much as well. They charged us just $73 a night over here, which is quite considerably less compared to what Villa Fontaine was charging us. But yeah, Aaron, it's quite a small room. I would say about 10 to 12 square meters. Don't take my word on it, Aaron, because I'm not an expert. I'm not one of those people in real estate, who can just look at a property and give you a very close estimate as such. But based on what I have seen and based on properties that I keep visiting and looking at stuff, I would say it's about that range. I would say it's not anywhere above 15 square meters. 10 to 12 is the max, but yeah, if I'm grossly wrong, then I would just think it would be 15. But yeah, 10 to 12 is the max at what I think would settle in it. Hey Haps, yeah, taxi from Narita to Tokyo cost 150. Yeah, that's going to be crazy because the other day I thought I'm going to take the train from Haneda to Shibuya crossing to Shibuya Sky as such, and we got late. And then we take the taxi and we ended up paying $97. I was like, yeah, I couldn't do much. But then, on our way back, we took the train and the train was so much cheaper. But, Haps, I think sometimes it's the mind that plays around. I have been traveling for quite some time, okay? And I think Sydney trains has put in such a negative experience in me that I really don't want to travel on trains for whatever reasons. Because, Sydney trains, they are so slow, no matter, they are a bit expensive too. When I travel to work, I end up reaching faster to work when I travel by my car, when I drive, rather than take a train. And again, in terms of parking, I do pay about $17.5 for parking per day, which is fine, considering the train can get a bit too expensive when you're traveling peak hours. So yeah, it's a bit crazy, but what I'm trying to say is Sydney trains has been so inefficient. It rains little and then you see it on the news that something has happened. Something happens at Central Station and trains at Parramatta and the Blue Mountains have been affected. So that's the kind of thing, they be so inefficient that you end up thinking trains all across the world are that way. But now I was wrong. I'm telling you, I'm not even shy to admit that I was wrong, because literally the day we took the train from Shibuya and to get to the JR line, the Yamanote line to Shinagawa is something that we were stressing. All we realized is the Yamanote line had the green background as well as the JR line had the green background, and we were just searching for the Yamanote line, and it's only later on when I go on Google Gemini and ask whether the Yamanote line is part of the JR line, and they were like, oh yes, it is part of it. And that's when we entered. So yeah, getting the entrance was a bit of an issue, but that's I think expected of someone who is new in the city. But apart from that, so efficient. I just use the Google public transport option for the directions and spot on, we didn't miss our way whatsoever. In New York, when I wanted to go from Times Square to the 9/11 Memorial, I took the train. The first time I ended up reaching not New Jersey. So I first ended up crossing the Brooklyn Bridge, and then I realized, okay, definitely I have made a mistake. Then I asked someone when I get off at one of the stations, and they tell me take the train on platform E. I go to platform E, I take the train, and I end up reaching New Jersey. And then I thought, well, this is not for me. And then I get out of New Jersey station, and then I take an Uber to the 9/11 Memorial. And that thing was also on my mind. But the trains over here in Japan are so efficient that it was lovely. Ended up spending just about 505 yen, which is $5 to come back from Shibuya crossing to Tokyo Haneda. So you see the difference? We spent $97 to go and $5 to come back. You see that's the difference. So yeah, taxis in Tokyo, Japan could be pretty expensive. Okay, Aaron, you and your mom, wishing you both a very happy and safe trip. You still have about 50 odd days, I would say. Slightly less than 50 days to be very precise. So yeah, wishing you all the best with the preparations. Hopefully everything goes well. Hopefully you'll get some great pictures of the cherry blossom and exciting stuff as such. Enjoy, mate. Enjoy your 9 days and 8 nights. When talking to Japanese people, I think it's best to speak slowly with words. Yes, I agree with you, mate. I totally agree. This morning, I was just buying one of those Japanese fans. And when I spoke a bit faster, they couldn't really get what I was saying. So I literally slowed down and they were fine with it. So I can totally understand with that one. Okay, your 3 hotel room sizes are 17, 25 and 22 square meters. I think you should be fine with that, Aaron. Yeah, 17 still seems to be slightly bit larger than this one, but yeah, I don't think it would be more of a comfortable thing, I would say. But yeah, I think it should be fine. Don't worry too much about it, because in the end, it's like you're just going to be visiting places the whole day, and then maybe night, come over, sleep, and then next morning again go to another place, come back in the night, sleep, or perhaps come during the day, just rest a bit. So yeah, don't really take too much into consideration. And then Tokyo is an expensive city as well in terms of property, especially with hotels as such. So they are trying to make the best bang for their buck, and they'll try reducing the size of rooms and such. But yeah, don't worry, I think 17 at the minimum should be fine. 25 is the one where you'll feel quite spacious, and 22 is somewhere in between. It's literally the average of 17 and 25 as such. So yeah, you should be fine. Americans pronounce it as Shibaya. Okay, so it's hard to understand Japanese. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. Yeah, I literally didn't know that. But yeah, good to know. Thanks, Haps. Posted a screenshot of my flight on the community page. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you. I will be checking it after the live stream. Yeah, after the live stream, I'll be just going for dinner and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll be checking it out. Shibuya. Oh yeah, that's a nice way of pronouncing it, Haps. So you say when you teach them, it's Shibuya. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes more sense. Yeah, okay. I think this is one of the heavies coming in so slow. Oh, okay, we missed it out. I think we'll have to zoom out. I love when these heavies come in nice and low. Sadly, we didn't get the A380 of Emirates EK318 over here today. It went to the other runway, and that's behind the hotel side. So yeah. Easy. Qantas's One World delivery still over there. Sorry, was it a One World delivery? I don't know. It doesn't look like a One World delivery. What's happening around at the terminal? Are there people? Okay, we don't really see much. Okay, still seems to be some type of activity. We do have a lot of planes. Don't get an A380 as such. Hey Aaron, yes, thank you very much, appreciate it. And yes, Aaron, stick around, stick with us. We will definitely be streaming from Tokyo Haneda later this year. We want the summer fun and get more of those daytime live streams. Definitely it's going to be a lot more fun to be streaming from Tokyo Haneda. Stay with us, hopefully very, very soon. We're just waiting for the Northern Hemisphere winter, and perhaps somewhere around July, August is when it's going to work out well for us. Yes, 2 single beds. Yeah, Aaron, so the room that we were staying in at Villa Fontaine Grand, they had 2 single beds as well. It was quite spacious. When you say 2 single beds, yes, it's going to make a lot more sense. There'll be a lot more space, but then I'm not too sure around what else is going to be there, because they usually try skimping on space so that they can just fit in additional rooms and stuff. It makes so much sense to them, but yeah, don't worry. The hotel rooms cost the same as the flight. Okay, that makes sense now. So you see, they're literally charging you a bomb for a room. So yeah. 2.3K for the flight. Is that return? Like Singapore to Tokyo and then Tokyo to Singapore? And are you flying on Scoot? What is even happening? So you spent $2,300 on a Scoot flight, and is that one person? What exactly was happening there? Hotel 2,300. Hey Haps, yes, thank you very much, Haps. We appreciate your wishes, and yes, the next time around when we come in summer, we are literally going to test the limits of our cameras, our batteries, as well as, the 5G connection that we get. We will be putting it to the limit. I'm not too sure if you have seen any of our Sydney live streams, but we literally take the stream to the limit in terms of time. We usually try streaming for a minimum of 6 hours, with a maximum of what we've done is 8 hours. But then 8 becomes a bit too much, because usually in the morning at 6 is when the night curfew ends at Sydney Airport, and then we get all the heavy arrivals coming in from the United States, Canada, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Doha, as well as, then late morning to early afternoon, we have all the departures. So by 12:30, 1 o'clock is, when most of the crowd is done. But then we do have a couple of departures here and there. But between 1 and 2, it can literally go very quiet at Sydney. And that is why, we usually end our streams around that time. Even afternoon time, we've done a couple of afternoon streams, but not much. But afternoon, it can get a bit too quieter. So we prefer not doing it. But nevertheless, we would love to do more of those streams too. But yes, when we stream the next time at Haneda, we will be trying to push the limits like crazy. We want to make a record for our longest live stream at Tokyo Haneda, because it's just stolen our heart for some reason, just because of the views we get. I mentioned in one of my live streams just recently, should have been end of January or early February, when I did mention that we have never spotted EVA, and luckily we spotted it day before yesterday and yesterday afternoon. So yeah, we will be pushing the limits on that one, and hopefully everything goes well. But then at the same time, as we just mentioned, a minimum of 6 hours live stream at Sydney. I think when we get back to Sydney in March, that is not something that we will be able to do, because 6 o'clock in the morning right now will be dark in Sydney until the time changes when we go back to standard time, when we end up getting brightness again just about 6 or before 6. So yeah, let us see how things work out. But Sydney live streams is something that we will keep doing regularly. But apart from that, okay, I hope everything's okay with whoever is unwell. Wishing them the best, wishing them God's grace and good health. But yeah, apart from that, in Sydney, we will be doing a lot of YouTube shorts, because it seems to be short form videos are something that people prefer, especially, when they are just wanting to see a particular airline or particular livery, or perhaps a particular flight number as such. So usually we do stream with all those details in mind. Hey Haps, yes, I have literally challenged myself to come here the second time this very same year. So hopefully, yeah, we can get that done. Hey Aaron, so you said Comfort Hotel, Tokyo Higashi Nihonbashi, your first hotel, then Tokyo Higashi Kanda, your third hotel, Marriott Togichi Nikko, your second hotel. Cool, I will screenshot this. I will have a look at it. Perhaps maybe in a day or two, when we are done with all our traveling, and then just okay, Fairfield by Marriott. Wow, cool. So it's, what exactly is it called, Aaron? Because someone mentioned online on YouTube, they said it's not EVA. Then someone mentioned it should be said as EVAA. So what is it? Is it like EVAA or is it EVAA? Like, what exactly is it? Haps says, Australian soccer is difficult, but please show interest in Japanese baseball too. Mate, I'm telling you, baseball, I've always been interested in it since I was a child. I remember playing 8-bit games with baseball and the home run and stuff like that. Yeah, need to show some baseball interest so the Japanese people like us. I think the Japanese people have already started liking us for our streams. They went a bit too crazy yesterday, and that is another reason why we want to do these Japanese streams. They went total crazy on the stream yesterday. We thought that we will be streaming until about sunset. And, we started early afternoon. Sadly, because of the snowstorm and the sleet, we had to give up early. So we ended up doing just a 2-hour stream instead of our usual, what we were planning to do is like 5.5-hour stream. So less than half the time of what we planned, we ended up getting such a great response that, it's like, we want to do it more for the Japanese fans and stuff like that. We will do it. Let us see how things work, and hopefully they still give us all that love that we desire from them. The love and the cooperation of all the viewers. That is what brought us here in the first place. It's like, if no one would support us on a stream, if no one would be watching us, no one would be subscribing to our channel, literally we wouldn't be thinking of coming to Tokyo Haneda. But the fact that we did, that is a great thing. Okay, so Aaron says it should be EVA. Okay, cool. EVA. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Thanks, Aaron. Thank you. Let us spot EVA someday. Tokyo Haneda. I'm pretty sure they serve Tokyo Narita as well. But let's see. We did miss out on Starlux actually. We did see the A350-900, I think, landing earlier today whilst we were on the bus. All black games are tough for the Japanese. Yeah, maybe. I just switched on the TV in my hotel at Villa Grand Fontaine. And Villa Fontaine Grand, or whatever the name is. I even have messed up the words at this stage. But yeah, it seems to be that they have a different liking to sports and a different perspective towards it, I would say. Okay, so it's about 8 o'clock here, 10 o'clock in Sydney, and it should be what time? 7 o'clock in Singapore for you, Aaron. But yeah, I think we should be ending the stream in about 10 minutes from now. But don't worry, what we will do is, we will be having dinner and stuff. And I think about late night, we should be starting another live stream. But we will leave that live stream more as a static live stream where we don't speak much. Because as you all know, you see, we aren't getting great visuals as such. But we still just want to bring the happenings of Tokyo Narita, as well as just as a thank you to all the people of Japan. It's been one hell of a ride. Where just today, when we thought we had lost everything on this trip just because of missing out today's sunrise, is when we get this view from a hotel. So we want to give everything, we want to give whatever we can to all of our viewers. we all know that we didn't really film much for our YouTube videos as such. It was only about the live streams here. So we will just try bringing whatever we can. We will end the stream in about, say, 10 minutes. And I think in the next 2 hours or something, we should be back with a static live stream. At that time, we won't be talking. I think it will be more just of an ASMR video type of thing. Yeah, we will be still panning around the cameras, and hopefully we'll see some new airlines out there. Let us see. In terms of the snow melting, I don't think it's going to melt anytime soon, because tomorrow seems to be a much better day than today. But yeah, I don't think this is going to melt off the ground anytime. Alright, I think the shuttle bus is on its way to the airport. Whoa, just missed an accident over there. All right, still have a few planes coming in. We'll just let the stream go a bit more. Whoa, the first hotel is 240 to 260 a night, Marriott 200 a night, and third hotel is 360 a night. Okay. I think 360 is quite on an expensive side, I would say. But yes, don't worry, Aaron. Hopefully you and your mom can enjoy. And it's going to be a great time. Don't stress too much. Hey, thank you, Haps, for saying that. Thanks for saying that. Yes, and I'm really humbled. You know, we are really humbled to have traveled all the way from Sydney to have gone to Haneda. Things that, you know, we did research quite a lot before making this trip to Tokyo Haneda. But then at the same time, I would say our research was not the best, because considering the way we work over there, it's like super crazy. There could have been a lot that could have gone wrong on our trip, but nothing really went wrong apart from the weather. You know, with the weather, that's something which we would have always have had at the back of our mind, that, you know, if the weather goes bad, the streaming wouldn't happen. So yep, and that's what really happened anyway in the last few days. But apart from that, I think a lot more things could have gone bad. We didn't research the hotel. We didn't research the requirements as such. But yeah, however, we did send an email to TAT about filming, and they were fine with it and whatnot, as long as we were not using too much space or being, inconsiderate of other people. So yes, everything went well when a lot more could have gone wrong. So yeah, that way, since everything was just the way we would have expected, or perhaps beyond our expectation, we were quite happy. And yeah, let us see how things work out. But apart from that, I would say we are humbled, we are humbled with this experience. The fact that we didn't prepare as much as we would have loved to prepare, we ran out of time. The best thing is, even Japan arrival declaration, we filled it up, but only half of it. It's only later at Singapore Changi, when we got done with our security, one of the gate agents mentioned that the QR code needs to be kept ready for the Japanese authorities to verify when we arrive at Tokyo Haneda. And then I was thinking to myself, definitely I haven't seen a QR code. I probably have missed out. And then I went back, logged into my account and went back to the thing. And then I realized the form was just half filled. So you see, we were that ill prepared with this trip. So somewhere what really happened is we ran out of time. We couldn't give much time, but then, yeah, we did plan Tokyo Haneda, but there was definitely a lot more to be done. And then the fact that everything went well, apart from the weather, which, like I said even earlier, is something that we were expecting anyway, but we didn't really want it to happen. That is fine. So yes, we are really humbled. And thank you very much. Your support, your kind words mean a lot to us, Haps. And we will bring a lot more of these streams later on in this year. We will definitely come to Haneda, and we will push the limits. We will test the limits. We will cross the limits. We will literally cross the limits on our next trip. We will want to really push it like crazy. At Tokyo Haneda, there's so much of options, so many airlines coming in, that pushing the limits is going to be enjoyable more than a stress for us. In Sydney, what happens is we have quite a few global airlines like Cathay Pacific, Emirates, Qatar, Doha, United, American, Delta. But what happens is they have multiple flights actually. So Qantas is the home one, so I'm not even mentioning it. But let's say Vietnam Airlines, they fly two flights a day or something in. Then we have Malaysia Airlines, they have 2. Then we have Manila services by Cebu Pacific and Philippine Airlines. We have Cathay Pacific coming in regularly during the day. We have Singapore Airlines, 4 services in and out. So yes, that is the thing actually. You see, it's like we do have quite a lot of flights, but then we don't have much of the variations as such. But Tokyo Haneda has a lot of variation, and pretty sure Tokyo Narita has them too. But like I said, we have not even researched Tokyo Narita, for the very fact that the reason why we are at Narita is only to catch our Scoot airline. But apart from that, yes, there's not much. But thank you very much once again, Habs, for your kind words. It means a lot to us, and we will definitely be bringing a lot of this action. Stay tuned for the Sydney action as well. Sydney isn't boring as such, but sometimes it can get a bit too weird with the weather over there. At one point it's very sunny, and the very next moment our cameras are wet, drenching with the rain. So that's a bit too weird over there. Oh yeah, why do you say it's really rare to meet an Australian? Yeah, maybe the Australians don't mix around type of thing. Oh, Aaron, the third hotel for 5 nights equal to about 1,700. So I think that is a lot more reasonable, right? Like 5 nights, 1,700 should be okay. But still about 300 odd, slightly about 300. So yes. Australia's unique pronunciation is difficult too. Oh yes, perhaps sometimes some people can't really pronounce it, but that's totally fine. We aren't really judging. Just be comfortable with whatever you can, and that is all good. Oh, Aaron, I didn't know that, but yes, I think considering it's Tokyo, I would say that it would be cheaper. I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of high-end hotels charging you like maybe about 500, 600 a night. So yeah. Thanks, Haps. We'll surely erase. Oh, Haps, thank you very much. That really means a lot to me. You say you got interested in Sydney after learning about me. Thank you. That means quite a lot. Hopefully I can bring a positive experience to you, a positive mindset towards Sydney and Australia. Hopefully, we bring out that positive experience. Stay tuned with us always. There's a lot. Apart from aviation, just like I said, it seems to be we are sharing so much more apart from aviation. So that is one good thing. Yes, Aaron, you're right. Singapore Airlines has the most flights to Australia, more than any other airlines. And yes, Singapore Airlines is the largest international carrier in Australia. And most of their flights are concentrated in Sydney. Yeah, they do have flights to Perth, to Adelaide, to Brisbane, to Melbourne. And yes, they operate a lot of their flights to Sydney. And yes, Singapore Airlines is known as it is the biggest international carrier in Australia, apart from Qantas, which is a home-based national airline. But if you look at airlines not registered in Australia, Singapore Airlines is one that is operating the most flights out of Sydney. Oh, wow, that's nice. That's nice, Aaron. I hope your family are doing well who live in Brisbane. Not too far from Sydney, I would say just about an hour and 20-minute flight. So yeah, not too far. 2007. Okay, so that's about 19 years ago. Great move. Hopefully they are having a great time in Brisbane, and yeah, I'm pretty sure they have much more better weather than Sydney. Sydney can get a bit crazy, especially during winter, get a lot cold, but Brisbane is not so harsh with the winter. So yeah, hopefully everything is good. Alrighty guys, so you see right now we see no lights whatsoever, no landing lights. Seems to be a lull, and I think this is the best time for us to end the stream. But worry not, we should be back here in 2.5 hours. We'll start off another stream and we'll take it from there. So yeah, all of you rest well. Thank you very much once again for joining us on this stream of ours. We appreciate your presence. Our first stream from Tokyo Narita seems to be a very good one with a lot of information shared. Thank you very much, Jeff, Dean. Dean has left, but thank you very much, Dean, once again. Thank you very much. Thank you, Haps. Thanks for all your kind words. Thank you very much, Aaron, for sharing so much with us. It's always good to learn a lot about Tokyo from you. Appreciate your kind presence, appreciate everything you do for us. I mean, your likes, your subscriptions, your comments, you just sitting and watching a live stream, that makes a world of a difference. So thank you very much. Appreciate everything. And we'll talk to you very soon. The next stream that we do in the next 2.5 hours, we won't be speaking much. It's just going to be the silent and static stream as such. Not exactly static because we will be panning around the camera. However, it's just going to be one of our last streams and one of those nice peaceful streams. So hopefully you will have a great time and we'll see you around soon. Okay, Darwin Queen also cans, also cool. Yeah, cool. Yeah, Cairns should be pretty close to Brisbane. Yeah, Darwin would be about 2 hour flight or something. Yeah, but good to know. Good to know, Aaron. Yakitori bar, Sochu with you. Okay. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce that. Shochu. I have no idea. Then that sounds hard. I might as well just go on Google Gemini and maybe ask them to pronounce that for me. But yeah, thanks Haps. Thanks. And yes, pretty okay with that one. Aaron, your dad studied in Hobart University. Hobart in Tasmania. Wow. Okay, no doubt you had a flight to Hobart as well. Okay, now I see where that comes from. But yeah, good enough, Aaron. But yes, Aaron, thank you very much once again for sharing all your knowledge. Thanks, Aaron. Thank you, Haps. Thank you, Jeff. Jeff, if you're around, have fun. We will be starting another live stream in about 2 hours, which will be past midnight. And yeah, I don't know if you will be awake at that time. But yeah, Jeff, if you're around, there is Qantas that is pushing back, and I'm still not on it because it's an Airbus A330 and Qantas doesn't have good pricing. Hey, Aaron, yes, good night. And yeah, see you in Singapore, hopefully someday. I do know that I will be traveling somewhere around beginning of April, but I don't know by then if you're going to be back. I think you said you're going to be back on the 3rd. But don't worry, because we keep traveling regularly. We are one of those frequent flyers that you see all around the place. So yes. Hey, Aaron, yeah, please let me know a place where I could stream peacefully, where the police and no one, would ever disturb us as such. Literally we be streaming very, very peacefully from wherever we go, just like how we did at Haneda. So let us know which is the best place to live stream, which is the best place to see planes landing or taking off at one of those runways, especially the heavies, and we'll do it. Of course, we'll need to do a bit of preparation as such, because Singapore is not a place that we thought much about streaming. We just mentioned it yesterday on one of our live streams, but yeah, please let us know. We will definitely love to do one from Singapore, because there's a lot of Singapore heavies coming in. There's Emirates, we would catch the 747-400 over there. So there's a lot. Please let us know and we'll do it. Oh, so true. You is a Japanese alcoholic beverage. All right, cool. I think perhaps, the best time for us to do that Japanese alcoholic beverage would be during the Northern Hemisphere summer. So hopefully the next time we come to Haneda, that is when we'll do it. And, in gratitude to all of our Japanese viewers, to all the Japanese viewers who actually just came and stuck to our channel and subscribed and commented and liked our video, our stream. We will be posting time and again in Japanese titles as well, along with English, definitely. But yeah, go early morning, so no children. Okay, yep, cool. We'll do, no problem. But yes, apart from that, thank you very much. Thanks, Aaron. Thanks, Haps. Thanks for your presence. Thanks for being so participative in the comments section. Appreciate it. Thank you very much for sharing all your knowledge. And Haps, looking forward to seeing you again on our next stream. Our next stream will just be in 2.5 hours from now. But yeah, if not now, definitely look out for us next month when we stream from Sydney, as well as, comment, subscribe to all of the YouTube shorts and videos that we will be posting in the coming days. Definitely not a video tomorrow, but most likely on Tuesday is when we'll start posting a bit of shorts. So, yep. Also known as Hoppy. Wow. Yeah, Hoppy is a easier word, I would say. Thank you very much. Alrighty, take care of yourselves, guys, and see you around in 2.5 hours if y'all are still around. If not, then yeah, catch you in the comments section in one of those YouTube videos that we post. There'll be a lot of close-up videos that we post of different airlines from Sydney that we filmed on the 3rd of February 2026. All right, thank you very much, everyone, from here at Tokyo Narita International Airport. Take care, stay safe, and arigatou gozaimasu.